One. Hey, it's License of You on an early Saturday morning. Attempt number 2 from last night on the hot Friday night. I'm Jason, that's Zach. We are both tired, man. What's going on, dude?
I'm ready for, the podcast 2.22 we cannot redo to finally get off the way. Um,
Yeah.
not too much is happening. That's a lie. I forgot. Dude, uh, I'm so tired I forgot everything. Okay. So, Guilty Gear Strive beta happened. I played it a good bit. Not as much as I would have liked because it basically took place for the most part during my work week. But I was able to play when I could. I joined the game a lot, even just from the beta. And like, goddamn, dude, it just feels so good to have a game that has like good online that like makes me actually want to like stick around and know that I'll probably be like playing it well after its release because I don't know. I always thought that everybody was just like blowing smoke up my ass when they were always just like, "Oh, rollback's the future," and all that shit. And then you play this game, and you're like, "Oh, this is what like online fighting games could be like, where you can actually play it and
Right.
you can actually attempt to like learn how to play the game against other people because it doesn't feel like you're like constantly like swimming upstream. Like it actually just feels like
Right.
an offline game. You can actually like figure out like what you're doing wrong. Like with this, like playing these matches, like even if I lost one, like if I was playing like Street Fighter Five, it'd be like this goddamn lag, all this fucking shitty rollback, like fucking up my inputs and all this shit. Everybody's teleporting all across the screen. I only had like one really bad connection when I played the beta, and like for me playing like it was probably upwards of like 10 hours of the beta at least. For me to only have like one bad match is like I feel like that's a
Mm.
miracle.
Yeah, that's great.
And it really is conducive to like playing the game a lot, especially in the area we're in right now where like locals don't really exist because everybody's too afraid of the virus to like gather. Having good online is like so key to be able to play your game, and so like, yeah, having this game like just feel the way it does online and know that like, yeah, I could probably play this and like actually try to attempt to like learn to be good at this game because I don't feel like I'm
Yeah.
like fighting a losing battle with the online.
Right. Well, you could also just amend your statement and be like, well, those locals just don't exist in general.
Well,
you
actually, I
know?
had a local here in Orlando that I was going to.
Yeah, but because you're there in Orlando,
Yeah,
imagine,
when we lived in South Carolina, locals are non-existing. You basically go
like,
to like,
imagine like what you have.
yeah,
It's it's like OG FGC where it's like like 10 guys in a basement.
yeah, no, yeah, that doesn't really exist anymore, and there's not really an arcade scene like that. Um, I mean, that was the cool thing
So
about
if you,
Orlando is, at first it was at Buffalo Wild Wings, but at a couple of like a month or so after I moved down here, like right before everything shut down, there's actually this really cool like gaming lounge bar that opened up, and so they started moving the locals there. Um, yeah, I mean,
well, it's like if you can't have a community,
mhm.
you the only thing you got next is online.
Yeah, I mean,
So if you don't have that, your game's dead.
yeah. Well, that was the yeah. I mean, that's the thing where it's like, and it goes into the little bit of news we had, but like KOF 15 announced that they were gonna have rollback. They're doing like their own thing, so it probably won't be the same as Guilty Gear Strive. But I mean, clearly, if they've been working with it like from the development stage, I'm hoping that it's gonna like feel as good as Guilty Gear. But I mean,
Right.
that's just the way of the game now. It's just like, you know, I don't know. It feels hard to like support games that like don't have good online anymore because it's like, why am I gonna pay $60 for a game that can't?
Well,
I
how
don't
am
feel like
I?
playing after like two.
Why would I play Street Fighter 5 when I know that I gonna have delayed inputs or something?
Yeah,
But Halo 2 did it 10 years ago perfectly
yeah.
fine.
I don't get that rollback
Uh,
with it because like delayed just like it doesn't work.
yeah. Speaking of delay, speaking of lag,
What?
we got lag. So speaking of
Yeah, I
lag,
just felt.
you just lagged a little bit on my end.
Yeah, you like
Um,
on mine too. But this did God,
Oh, it's on me. I
is
don't
it?
know. It says we're good to go, but my internet was being weird there. Why do a podcast if you
Huh?
don't have good internet?
Yeah.
Oh God, dude.
Person at
It,
that
it
point.
makes me wonder, like, we spend
It's so
two
bad.
thousand
I can like
dollars
see
on
you
this.
stuttering.
We spend $2,000 on this computer
Well,
just
is
for
it the
like
computer or
what?
is it the internet? Because I feel
The
like the
internet's never
internet's
been
been
that
fine for
bad.
like the past year.
Yeah, it's been good, dude. We've had the same internet for the last year, so
Yeah.
unless they decide to just have a shit system for the last night and a half,
Yeah.
I really don't know. I moved the antenna to a different direction, so who knows? I have no idea how this shit works.
I have no clue how Wi-Fi works. Um.
I never needed to have a Wi-Fi antenna before,
Yeah. That's weird.
but now there's one.
Hmm. I mean, it's got the
Well, it
little
seems
antennas that come on the router, but like,
yeah, this is for the actual like Wi-Fi card on the computer.
oh, that's weird.
So I have no idea. But it says I have 5 bars, man. I don't
Huh?
know.
It's weird.
Well, it seems fine now. I just moved it to the side of my computer, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if that does anything. I
Seems fine.
guess.
But I was playing. But yeah, I mean, it's just like in a fighting game in 2021, it's just like nobody's gonna play your game, and nobody's gonna support your game if it doesn't have rollback, because everybody knows that like, the majority of people know that after like a month or two, if it doesn't have good online, then I'm not gonna keep playing. I mean, that was the problem I had with
Yeah.
Grand Blue Fantasy, which is I really like that game a lot. I like the characters in it. I like the mechanics of it, but like every time I would
Yeah.
jump online, it was just like the worst shit ever. I hated it. I
Right.
hated playing online in that game. And so it got me playing a little bit longer because I had the locals where I could go and I could play that like every week at the scene when that game came out. But yeah, I mean, since the virus shut everything down, it's like why would I put time into this game when I know I'm not gonna have fun playing it online?
Yeah, and also why you don't want to be known as a guy who plays Grand Blue Fantasy.
It's a fun game, dude.
I've never even seen what the game
Oh,
looks like, but I know the game's
that's
called
your problem.
Grand
The
Blue
game is goddamn
Fantasy.
beautiful.
This is the anime game,
Uh
isn't
huh.
it?
It's by Arc System too.
Oh, okay. And they make some money, man.
They have got their fingers in a lot of cookie jars. I mean, they did. I mean, they
Blaze
got Blaze
Blue,
Blue,
Guilty
they
Gear,
got
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, Grand Blue. They've got another new game that they're coming out with based on Dungeon Fighter. That game was announced like a month or two ago.
Shit, fucking just give them fucking Killer Instinct. That way people will be happy they get some new shit coming out.
I'm surprised that Microsoft hasn't been doing like a new Killer Instinct for like Xbox. What the fuck is it? Series X.
I'm not surprised because nothing's come out for either of those fucking systems. So honestly I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I guess so. And I mean, I guess with that point, with the Series SX or whatever, I mean, it basically like updates everything to a Series X S performance or whatever. So it's like you basically got the same Guilty Gear. I don't know, or same Killer Instinct. The
Killer
only thing you
Instinct,
would
yeah.
really update, I guess, would be like the art style of it. Because like, I mean, you're not going to change combat system that much.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's no reason to.
It just I don't understand another game that I thought was seemingly popular, just dead in the
Which
water.
one?
You
Killer
know,
Instinct?
Killer
I think the
Instinct.
problem with Killer Instinct was that it was only on Xbox, and it got to the point where it was like Xbox is really like the dying console in this last generation, and so the player base really wasn't there in fighting games. Because I mean, I feel like most people probably played Street Fighter, and that was PlayStation 5 only, and then or that most people got a PlayStation 5 to play Street Fighter first, and even though that game died, you still had the PS4, and so you just kept buying all your other games on that system.
I don't know. I think the statement you said it's a little bit. I don't think people who bought a PS4 bought it for Street Fighter
Yeah,
5.
maybe.
I think it's more so like more people bought a PS4 because those people also are FGC fans and they wanted to play Street Fighter for like when it came
Yeah.
out, because clearly Street Fighter doesn't sell, or else the esports would be fucking It would be the FGC Evo would be at the level of like League of Legends.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like as fighting game stuff, I mean, Street Fighter's up there with like the top
Oh,
games.
it's number
But
one.
yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely compared to like other esports, FGC really
It's
isn't
number one.
there. But
Because if Street Fighter brought in the money that League of Legends would, every other Capcom game would be
yeah,
paused.
that's true.
We wouldn't be getting Resident Evil
We wouldn't be
fucking
getting Devil May Cry or
remake.
Resident Evil 7. Yeah,
Yeah, they're like, yo, we're gonna put all our
yeah,
money into making this fucking game, and it would honestly probably be a better experience.
yeah. Probably if they actually put like all their
Yeah.
attention and resources into it, it probably would be.
I was I'm in a Facebook
Hmm.
group, um, and after the Mortal Kombat trailer came out, one of the guys in the Facebook group, and it's like a couple thousand people in the Facebook
Hmm.
group, like posted a question like, "Hey, after seeing this trailer, it made me really like be excited for fighting games." Or like just excited, made me really excited to see it. And what are you guys' favorite fighting games, and who are your
Hmm.
mains, right? I was like, okay, here we go. I'm gonna get a list of people who are gonna we're gonna break it down,
Yeah,
man. We're gonna talk about some good fighting game shit, right? Not that again, like we said last week, you and me are the kind of players that like understand what's like going
yeah.
on, but we don't have the dedication in our hearts
No,
to become Justin Wong. We don't have that, right?
I
But
don't have the
we
drive
understand what's going
or
on.
the amount of practice time put in to become like a Chris G or a Justin Wong.
Yeah, I also just don't see the point. Like, oh, I can once a year at a convention, dude. You know what? Or randomly, when I'm at a fucking Buffalo Wild Wings, like you said. What's up? Y'all playing Third Strike? Okay, y'all can
All
goodbye
right,
then.
let's go.
Like, you don't even know. Fucking take this, Alex or
Yeah.
whatever. So a lot of people in the comments were like, and this is not me judging
Hmm.
anybody. It shows the different level of like
Hmm.
inness, I guess is the right word or whatever. People were like, "Oh, Mortal Kombat Sub Zero." I'm like, "Okay, okay, whatever, it's fine, yeah, yeah,
So
right."
here's not bad.
People were like, "Oh, some people mentioned the original
Hmm.
KI, or some people were like, yeah, they would mention like Marvel, like Street Fighter versus X
Yeah.
Men or some shit like that. I'm like, okay, you're an older guy or older girl. Okay, that's an OG
Yeah.
game. Okay, sure. Street Fighter Alpha 2. I was like,
Okay.
okay, all right, hold on. And he's like, oh, and then this dude commented Street Fighter Alpha 2, like Rose or
Hell yeah.
something, or like Fei Long. And I was like, okay, so you're pulling a deep cut in
Okay.
there, right? So I commented, and a lot of people were like, oh,
Ken, Ken, Ken.
Every Street Fighter, Ken. I'm like I understand it, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, Street Fighter 4, probably my favorite fighting
Hmm.
game. Third Strike's right behind
Yeah.
that. Um, Ken and I really love playing as um, like
Hmm.
Guile in SF4, even though I am terrible with any charge character. But I remember like in high school when Vanilla came
Hmm.
out, with my freshman year of high school or whatever. I was so codependent on fucking Fireball that I wanted to like not have to use
Uh-huh.
Fireball. I like just learn how to like combo because I can like just back away from the screen and fireball you and like you jump in and then
DP. Yeah.
DP. So I put that in my comment. I was like, yeah, I want to play a character where I actually had to think more and not have reactionary dragon
Hmm.
punches. And like two people were in it,
Hmm.
right? The rest of the comments are people who were like weren't in it. They just like thought they just picked a character that was
Yeah.
fun, which is like that's not wrong. That's exactly how I play any new fighting
Yeah.
game. But I was just like, it's so crazy to me how like how crazy you sound when you start talking like about intricacies of certain
Oh, yeah.
like fighting game is it's a niche market
Yeah.
already, and then you're gonna go and you're gonna become even more niche by being like,
Talk about like
okay,
reactionary
so
dragon
frame
punches.
data.
And,
Here's some frame
yeah.
data. It's like the fuck are you talking about frame data, dude? Like, look, your invincibility frames. What the fuck are you talking
What's
about?
a lab monster? What is this? What are you talking about?
Yeah, what is the
Some sort of
lab?
gremlin? Like what's going on?
Yeah, what is the lab? And also, what is a fucking like all this shit?
Yeah.
So what is the Dragon Punch? Like, what is it? What is
Yeah.
that? You know, and no one said anything. It was crazy to me to think like this is where my head is at when I'm looking at a fighting
Yeah.
game. You know, like I'm sure it's probably the same way people think about like League of Legends when they watch that.
Probably,
You
yeah.
know, like I don't have any idea what the fuck's going on in League of
Mm-hmm.
Legends, but people are probably like, oh, well, he's clearly buying this stuff, and then there's items, and
Yeah.
he's doing that fucking old passive
The only
ultra
thing I kind of know what's going on is
whatever.
from playing, uh, shit. What's the God one called?
Oh,
I can't remember.
Smite.
Smite. Yeah, that's like the only one I've really played of those type of games.
Yeah, I played that a couple
I played
times.
Dota 2 actually. I think a
Um,
little bit on Steam, but I was never any good at it. I'm not good at these games.
yeah, I'm terrible at those games, man. Terrible. I'm terrible at fighting games, so it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. I think I can just again. I think my percentage of ability in any fighting game
I would say you're
is
around
just
the
off the.
average.
I think off the rip.
Yeah.
Like never played the game before. I get on it. I think if I'm playing 3 rounds against someone else who doesn't care about fighting games, I can win 2-1
Okay.
because there's the people that just fucking are just mash buttons in the best
Yeah.
order, and I can't beat them. Right. Now if it's like Street Fighter, I think I could figure it out against someone who has no idea what they're
Yeah.
doing. But if you put like a daily 30 minutes into your day to play Street Fighter, okay, you're gonna
Yeah.
win. You're gonna win. My combo set of Ken is from 15 years ago, and we'll see if it works. And even then, nah. Because I was we were talking about Guilty Gear, and it's one of those games we talked about it on the podcast last
Mm-hmm.
week. It's one of those games that I've never been drawn to, just because the combo chains are so long.
I think that's one of the things about this game that I kind of like is, especially playing it, is like the combo systems aren't too terribly long. It's also an incredibly high damage game, so rounds
Mhm.
are pretty quick, which I liked a lot too. Um,
Well, it's the same thing I had with
mhm.
MK. But I was watching, and I like King of Fighters, even though I've always been terrible at
I've
those.
been I tried
Because
playing KOF 13 in like its last legs before KOF 14 came out. That game's a fun
well, to
game, but
me,
it's like you
it's
want to talk about long combo structures. KOF is like that's the
yeah,
king. It's like
exactly. That's my
those
point.
combos
But
go
like to me, it's
forever. They're like
like
Marvel combos, but with one character.
well, to me, there's like the if I'm putting it in like the arcade, like if I'm walking into the
Mhm.
arcade right for the first time, at the very front of the arcade, like once you get to the fighting game part of the arcade, you're gonna see the Street Fighter
Yeah,
game, right? You're gonna see
probably Mortal Kombat.
the the Mortal Kombat game, and you're gonna see the Marvel vs. Capcom 2
Yeah,
machine,
definitely.
right? And then and those are gonna be people on them, and the good and bad
Yeah,
people playing those games, people who care, people who don't care, people who just like the games. And then when you walk past those
yeah,
machines into the farther back of the arcade, that's where you get the fucking like next level fighting
yeah,
games. That's the fucking the
mhm,
KOFs, and that's like the fucking SNK
yeah.
games, like shit like that. That's where those games live
Samurai
in the
Showdown.
arcade. The games that make you have to like actually do fucking
Yeah,
trigonometry while you're doing combos.
yeah,
Like the games where you have to like not only have a pad at your house full of combos on a fucking
hmm.
notepad, but you have to read them over every day like it's a fucking exam.
You have to shadow puppet the combo doing it and the every
Yeah,
day. Make
exactly.
sure
You're
you don't lose the
shadowboxing, but
muscle
you're
memory. Yeah.
yes, because at that point, and you're fucking like you're doing the fucking you're delaying too. You're like
Micro walk,
the the the
micro
the
walk.
the, the,
Yeah.
the like fuck. That's I think that's so cool to
Yeah.
watch, right? I think it's cool to watch at
Hmm.
Evo, right? I think it's cool to watch at Capcom Cup. I think it's cool to watch at all these tournaments. But the idea of spending my life at home fucking doing that, shoot me in the fucking face. That sounds miserable. I could be playing guitar or like, learning an instrument
Yeah.
or editing a video or watching Rambo. I could be doing any of those fun things, and I people think that's fun. I absolutely
Yeah.
understand, right? Because you're good at
Hmm.
something. That's awesome. but I could also just play like Overwatch and like get better at that, and it's so much faster and takes less work. I mean, I think this Overwatch players would be like, oh, it's just as much work. Fuck no, the fighting games are
Fighting
the
games
most
are
work in video games.
very brain consuming.
Fighting games are the most time
Yeah.
consuming in the game and out of the
Yeah.
game of any gaming experience
I would
ever.
say that, yeah.
Nothing else comes close to it. There's just no way. But so you're enjoying Guilty
Enjoying
Gear.
Guilty Gear, and they revealed the 15 character, who is a character that I know I'm not going to be good at when I play her, but she's the one that got me into Guilty Gear at XR'd, and so I want to play her really bad, which is Eno, and her design looks fucking phenomenal. She's basically a role witch,
Okay.
and god damn it, I love her
That's
design.
cool.
I love her new design so much; it looks so good. But
I
yeah, so
haven't
I was
seen
playing
her.
Guilty Gear. It's good, man. You should look her up. I mean, her whole gameplay is like fucking weird, and I know it's gonna be weird for me to try to play it, but her whole thing is like, she doesn't have a traditional dash. She's a witch, so she's like a Darkstalker's like
Yeah.
Morgan like diagonal, like she basically like flies for her dash. So a lot of her
Right.
stuff is like she'll hit you with like 4 overheads and then drop down and do like a low on you and like that kind of like weird like mix up shit. Um, and it looks like that was still in her game plan. Um, but I just love her design so much. Like
Oh yeah, she
I
looks
can't wait to
cool.
play her. The what?
Yeah, she looks cool.
Yeah,
I mean, the moment the games look like just once they retain that anime look, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna suck at this game. Just automatic, not even a question.
I think of
Uh,
all the anime games that I've played, this one has like it's like this and Grand Blue are like they're definitely trying to like not make it as like crazy difficult. Um, like I've been watching a lot of Seijan posts a lot of like highlights of his stream, so I've been watching him play like a lot of games. Like he was playing Melty Blood, and he was like trying to learn that. I was like watching him try to learn Melty Blood, and I was like, this game looks fucking complicated as shit.
right.
It's got like the KOF or the SNK versus Capcom shit, where it's got like the different
Mm-hmm.
grooves already for like the characters. Like before you even pick them, I was like, I don't even know like what the fuck all this shit is.
Yeah.
You've got like 3 different versions of this character.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's like in like MVC2 where you're like, what
yeah,
the fuck are what are these?
yeah.
So
You got the
MVC3
weird,
comes
yeah,
out, you're
the
like
assist with all the different shit, and you're like, huh? What is going on?
what we talking about? ABC. Dude, what
Just
the
let me play the
hell?
game, man. Just let me play the damn game.
Like I'm pretty sure like in MVC they don't even tell you what it is either. I'm pretty sure, right?
I think I
It
think
does
in
in 3.
NC2, I think they give you a move name.
Yes, it tells
Um,
you. It guesses ABC. I'm pretty sure, or 1, 2, 3. It tells you what the move's called, but they don't
in
tell you
MVC3, they at
what
least
the
tell you it's
assist
like a
does.
projectile or
Yes, they tell you.
anti-air. But yeah, I don't think they do in MVC2. They're
3
just like,
tells
this
you
is the
that.
assist, this is the
Yeah,
move name. So you have to
yes.
know the character's move list
Like, at
to
least
know
like
what
in
that move is.
MVC3, I can be like, okay, this is gonna hit over.
Yeah,
This is gonna do this, right?
this is
But
a projectile. Yeah.
MVC2, you're like, I guess I'm just gonna fucking if I. But then they're that's because they're expecting everyone to play the game on the arcade,
Hmm.
where the cabinet has the fucking move list on the cabinet. You know,
Yeah.
like they used to do. Where you
Hmm.
can be like, okay, what's this? Okay, gotcha. But
Gotcha.
like, if you're fucking a child when that game is
Yeah.
in arcades, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, I can't pull up my phone to Google it.
No.
You know,
What are phones? What is
yeah,
this?
exactly. But so besides that, Zach, what else you been checking out,
Um,
man?
so the other big thing that I was really checking out, I'm trying to think. Yeah, this is really the only other really big thing, which was I watched the latest JoJo anime,
Okay.
um, which is not really JoJo. It's like a spinoff, but it's Thus Spoke. I can't remember how to say his line. It's Kisebe Rohan, right? I think that's
I know it's Rohan. I don't know the
I
first
can't remember his
title is
last
called.
name, but it's his series. Um, it's JoJo's fuck, and I love it. It looks really good. I can tell it's still by David Production. I was looking into it a little bit, and I think this actually came out like a while ago. I think it's just getting released on Netflix now for some
Oh
reason.
yeah, yeah, it makes
Uh,
sense with how far back Stardust or what's it called, not Stardust,
Part 4,
Part
yeah.
4 was.
but
Diamond
but
or Unbreakable.
but it's super fun. I mean, it's not JoJo in the sense that like it's not really about like stand battles anything like that. It's not about like that kind of stuff. It feels like more like Rocky's version of like Tales from the Crypt episodes.
Okay.
Um, but I like that aspect to it a lot. I mean, it's basically all based around like Rohan is the narrator. He basically has a story about some like weird supernatural thing that happened to him. And like that's a story, and it's all about like how he resolves it or how somebody else resolved it. Like the first one is about him going to Italy and meeting this guy who basically ends up like getting cursed because he refused to help this homeless man that was helping him. The homeless man died and cursed him, and so he's like trying to beat this guy's curse, and then he ends up like tricking him into, and he tricks the curse into killing like a servant that he has to get plastic surgery. I don't know. It's very JoJo logic where it's like
Yeah.
a lot of different things had to happen for this
This
to for this.
he's the manga guy, right?
Yeah, he's the manga guy.
I don't give a fuck about that guy.
I like him a lot. I like his design a lot, and I don't
He
know.
looks
It's
cool,
weird because his
but
personality is like muted I mean, it's still like there, but it's like it's not. He doesn't have like the other like part four characters to like bounce off of really, other than like when he's like telling a story. But like in the actual stories, there's not really any of those characters to bounce off of him. So it's
right.
like you don't really get like his full personality. I know like, he's a Rocky's favorite because he's basically a stand-in for a
For
Rocky
him,
like
yeah.
as a character, but um, it was fun, dude. I liked it a lot. I mean, I think you would enjoy it, just because I mean they are really like they're like mini Tales from the Crypt,
Right.
not Twilight Zone because they're not sci-fi. They're just supernatural. So I'm trying to think
Mm-hmm.
what the other equivalent to like Tales from the Crypt would be. It's something like that, basically. They're
Yeah.
like 30 minutes each. The only thing that I find disappointing is that there's only four of them. I thought there was going to be more. I know there's not that many chapters, but I know there's more chapters than like what they adapted.
Right.
Maybe the other ones like aren't as good,
Or they're doing a season
but
2.
maybe. I feel like we already would have heard about that by now though, because I think this came out in like 2017,
Well,
2018. Like I
we
think,
still haven't heard anything about the next season of JoJo either, right?
well, I think part six or part five came out in like 2019, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think it usually takes them a couple of years before they announce the next
Because
part.
next part would be prison, right?
Yeah, next part is
Or
Jolene.
Jolene.
Um,
I didn't like that one.
we read the first 20
Yeah, I
chapters.
did not.
It's the weirdest
I did
one
not
so far.
dig it at all. I
Well, it's weird because, I mean, as far as like, I mean, I didn't read any further than like the 20 chapters that we read, but like, it felt like it took 20 chapters for like the story to really like
and
kick off.
it fucking
Which I
probably
mean, I guess it
did.
was like part four too, because I mean, the
Yeah,
real heart of like the story of part four doesn't really kick off until like halfway through
yeah.
the season.
I'm sure that's the case. I'm sure it gets fucking sick, but I'm just saying, if the dude reboots his own universe, he's telling you something.
Yeah, that's true.
But also,
I do want to get to part seven eventually because everybody says that that's like the greatest part ever. So
yeah, I also for me like the beauty of JoJo is the beauty of 80s buff dude anime. Like
80s Chad
I love
guys, yeah,
that shit. You know, like
yeah.
um Viz is re-releasing. I don't know if re-release is the right word. They're attempting to finally release in full hardcover editions of Fist of the North Star.
Oh shit, for real?
Yeah,
Damn.
the first volume comes out on June 15th. And it's the hardcover volume 1. I don't know if it's 2 volumes or what. I don't know.
Okay.
Um like the Berserk volumes are.
I feel like it'd probably be because I mean,
It's
not to get off on the sidetrack, but
306
I also started
pages.
buying my 20th Century Boys Perfect Editions, and I feel like that's the model they go with. Is if they do these re-releases, they do like the 2 volumes because I mean that's what they did with 21st Century Boys. And from what I've seen, that seems to be,
How
especially when they've got
many
a lot of volumes like Fist of the North Star
how many
or
pages is that though?
20th
Yeah,
Century.
my copies are in my closet, so I can't get them.
The first Perfect Edition volume is, let's see,
Is there a page on there?
about 400, a little over 400 pages.
Okay, so this one, Amazon says this is 306 pages for volume one,
So yeah, it's probably 2 volumes.
but like that's and it's a hardcover. And it's $18 on sale right now, pre-order, $20 retail.
Yeah.
Um, that seems. See. I wanted to buy the Full Metal Alchemist because they did the same thing. They're re-releasing them in
Yeah, yeah,
hardcovers.
yeah. I saw those.
Um, I just never did it because I had the box set and I sold the box set, so now I don't have it anymore. Um,
Hmm.
I was like, oh shit, maybe I'll do
You had
that.
that big Books a Million Barnes and Noble box set.
Yeah, and then I sold it.
Yeah.
I never even read it. I just sold it. Just had it and I sold it. But last night I've been putting this off for like 5 years.
Hmm.
And it's manga related, so it ties in.
Okay.
I was sitting there last night, and by last night I mean 3 a.m. this morning. Um, I was like, oh man, let me see, because my tax return is coming in this week, right? So I'm like, okay, let me see. I've been tempted to do this to buy this box set, manga box set for fucking years.
One Piece.
No, I don't. I thought about having all the volumes, but they're still it's still going. I don't fucking
Yeah, it's
care
true.
enough. But
I saw that Amazon tried to like put me the One Piece box set, and I was like, no, no,
I mean they're
Amazon,
good.
you ain't
It's
do
a good
that.
deal, but I just don't care enough.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, okay, shit. But I've been looking at it, and the original box set for Akira,
Oh
hardcover,
shit. Okay.
was released a while back, and like they're going for like $500 on
Hmm.
eBay. So Kodansha re-released the box set, hardcover complete set at like 150, like retail price. And it was
Okay.
came out in like 2017, so they've been kind of floating around everywhere. Right Stuff had it for a long time. I was like, okay, sweet, I'm gonna buy it from Right Stuff. I've been checking like once every couple weeks. I've been checking. Right
Hmm.
Stuff still has it. Cool. Amazon's been sold out. Okay. Go to Right Stuff last night, out of stock.
Damn.
Fuck. So I find it on
Waited too
I
long.
find it on Barnes and Noble or booksamillion.com. I'm
Okay.
like, I'm just gonna have to do it now. Just pull the trigger right
Yeah.
now so I can have it. My biggest issue with this particular box set though, while the volumes look great and the hardcovers look awesome, it's the sound effects are in Japanese.
Oh, that's a little
And
weird.
I to me it's kind of lazy not to translate the sound effects. Like I
Yeah.
can understand kind of what I know what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
But like still, I want to see the boom versus the
Yeah.
fucking Japanese
The
characters or
kanji. Yeah.
whatever. But other than that, I just wanted to have it because I already have of all my other, especially cyberpunk stuff, but of all the other like seminal manga anime stuff, I have everything else already.
Hmm.
Um, I don't have any other shonen stuff, but the things that matter to me, like that to really matter, like Ghost in the Shell matters a lot to me. So I
Yeah.
have that, and like in every format, right? Now,
Hmm.
obviously, the manga is so different from the anime, and I
Yeah.
prefer the anime. But there's that, Appleseed. I have that.
Hmm.
Um, so now I have Akira. I don't know what else. I'm trying to think of what else I would need to get. That's like Fish of the North Star. I have in pre-order. I
Yeah.
thought about buying the first two sets of, or the first three sets of JoJo's because Viz has the JoJo's
Yeah.
hardcovers.
This re-release of JoJo's looks really, really good.
Yeah,
I just haven't got around to like wanting to actually buy the manga volumes, but I mean the release they did for them, it looks fucking good.
yeah, I like those. And I think now all I would need is like if whoever decided to re-release like uh Crying Freeman again in hardcovers,
Mm.
or like Sanctuary,
Yeah.
or like crime stuff, then I'd be
Mm.
super hyped. Because even Gundam Origin, as much as I really like the manga and I really like the art and I like the volumes, the vertical really overpriced those motherfuckers. Um,
Yeah, I have the first. I think I have like the first 5 or 6 volumes of those, and yeah, they look nice. But yeah, it's like I think it's like 25 or like something
and it
like
was
that.
like $35.
Volume. It's too much.
Yeah, and I love Gundam and stuff, but
They look
um,
really, really good, and I like having them a lot. And I've read the volumes that I have, but it's like I also think there's more than I
I think
have.
it's
I
like
think there's
12.
yeah, it's something. I know it's in the double digits for
It's like
sure.
11 or 12, I think, volumes.
Yeah, and Yeah, I just didn't feel like
One
paying that
day,
much
one day
all at
I'll
once.
find it on eBay as a lot, and I'll just buy it.
Yeah,
Because
probably.
I don't know if Vertical's even a company anymore.
Um, I don't know.
I feel like I saw they like shut down or something.
It's possible.
Let's see if Right Stuff has Gundam Origin Volume One. Because the fucking Gundam Origin anime is annoying.
I haven't started watching that yet.
So
Uh,
I kept trying to Google it to see if I was like making if I was missing something, but
that was their like redo of the original Gundam, right?
so Gundam Origin the manga is obviously this the retelling of Amuro's story, but I was watching the anime and
Mhm.
it's not even about Amuro.
Is it the Char one?
Yeah, it's the Char one,
Okay.
and I'm
So
like,
that okay, so they didn't do one. I because I know they did a Char anime
this is
that
what
was
yeah,
like they're like the longer OVAs where it's like
yes,
each episode's like an hour, hour and a half or
and
something like
it's like
that.
a prequel to the Origin manga, which
Yeah,
I'm fine with, but at the
but I
same
also want the
time.
original story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want Amuro's story in anime, like
yeah,
in updated anime, because the art's the art in the anime is so great, and like
yeah.
it looks really good. That I want that to be of the original story.
Hmm.
Um, but they didn't do that.
Hmm.
Instead, we get. Did you see this trailer? I posted it in the Word document for the news.
Which one?
It came out a month ago. I just saw it last night at 3 a.m. in the morning. There's a new
Oh, I didn't
Gundam.
see this one yet.
Yeah, it's called Gundam Hathaway,
Huh.
and it's a three movie, kind of like Unicorn, but set like
Okay.
15 years after Char's counterattack, which is
Interesting.
like to me is awesome because it's like I think it might be one of the first like a confirmed like within not old ass separation. Like Gundam Unicorn takes place in the universe, but I'm pretty sure it's like super far away. I thought like 20 some
Yeah,
years.
usually when they said stuff in the universe, they like, play around with the
So
timelines
like
a lot. There's a lot of like jumping and shit.
yeah, I know Unicorn is like far enough away that like it's like still like a distant.
It's like Unicorn and another one though, where it's like they do shit where they're like it's far enough away, but then they still have characters that are like too similar. Like
Yeah,
the main bad guy in Unicorn is basically Char,
yeah.
but they don't call him Char. But I'm like, I know this is definitely Char.
Well, you know, in so this apparently is this one has characters from like Zeta Gundam and characters who
Okay.
interacted directly with Char and Amuro. So it's like this is a direct sequel to that.
It looks good. Yeah.
Now we don't. I don't know if they've. I'm not super tied into the Gundam world right now, so I don't know if we ever had gotten a confirmation of if Amuro or Char survive. Because I don't know if you've seen Char's counterattack.
I I don't think I've read a little bit of the origins that I have, but I don't think I've ever finished like I've never finished the original story with like Shars or
Okay,
anything like
so
that.
you have the original anime, which is like the
Mhm.
origin, and then you have like MS Pocket, which is a side story. You have Zeta, which is a direct sequel to the original Gundam series,
Mhm.
and then I'm pretty sure after that it's straight
You
up
have Double Zeta too, right?
you have Double Zeta, but that doesn't follow Amuro, I don't believe.
Oh, okay.
Char is definitely when he's like that's when he's being a dick.
Okay.
And then I'm pretty sure after Zeta goes right into Char's counterattack, I believe. I
Okay.
could be missing
That's
something.
just the movie too, right?
That's a movie and it looks amazing for when it came out. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's like the big like Amuro is like 30 years old now. You know, he's like
Okay.
28. They've been fighting for a long time.
That's
Um,
the one where he's got the sick Gundam with like the fins, right?
yeah, that's the high new.
Yeah.
And
I love the
then
look of them.
I'm like I haven't seen the movie in like 5 6 years, but since I
Hmm.
last watched it, but I'm like 99% sure the end of that movie is them fighting and then like they both die. But you like
Hmm.
they're fighting and their Gundams explode or some shit. They don't explain if they don't like they don't confirm who lives or who dies. They kind of like
Right.
leave it at that.
Okay.
So I would love if like this I don't know what's cooler this movie this new series being like oh yeah they're dead like confirmed we found their bodies
Yeah.
or they're like oh we don't know like I don't want the show to be like we don't know you know so
Yeah.
I'm fine with they lived and they're retired or they're dead,
They're dead.
and we know they're dead. I don't
Yeah.
want it to be like, oh, we don't know, because you would fucking know,
Yeah.
you know. But if you haven't, and like I would assume you would have to, because I watched it in order of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously not when it came out, but like I remember because at the time I was super into Gunpla,
Yeah.
and I really wanted to just like watch all the original Gundam stuff. So I went and I found like really shit illegal streams, and then I
Yeah.
bought like a box set of Zeta, and and then I torrented, ooh,
Ooh.
a copy of Shark's Counterattack, and
Okay.
dude, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's I actually think I feel like I was looking up because there was I think it was when I was seeing the trailer for Char's Counterattack or some other Gundam thing where I was like I want to go and like rewatch the original Gundam,
It's
and
rough, man.
I feel like there was like a re-release or something that they did of like Gundam Origin. I feel like there was the first
Mm.
Gundam. What is this? Mobile Suit Gundam, the first. I feel like this was it. It was like, or maybe this is just the original series on Blu-ray, but that actually I think is what this is. But it's like that's the only way you can find it is like shit illegal streams or like highly overpriced
Yeah.
Blu-rays of the original that are like $40.
Yeah, the last time I watched it that wasn't in high school with like Kiss Anime or some like equivalent to that
Yeah.
was like a torrent batch from Pirate
Hmm.
Bay from like 2008.
Yeah.
Um and they're all obviously 480, resolution because it's fucking 1970
Yeah.
whatever. You really need to watch Blue Blazes.
Okay.
Um and it's a manga. I never read the manga, but they made it to it's a comedy manga, but they made it into I mentioned it to you before, but they made
Hmm.
it into a live action comedy, and I would
Hmm.
never have found the manga if it wasn't being subbed by a group that also did Kamen Rider, right? So I was watching like a decade ago, whenever the show came out.
Hmm.
I was weekly downloading from the overtime subs, and I'm trying to get them in trouble, but so a subgroup who did Kamen Rider, and I think it was at the time decade or I don't, maybe longer than that. I don't know what some Kamen Rider series from the last era, obviously.
Hmm.
But they're also posting weekly for like, hey, here's Ao Hoinoi or some however Blue Blazes is pronounced in Japanese, right? And I was like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is this? Looks fucking stupid. Why the fuck? Who gives a shit about this? I want Kamen Rider. I want Super Sentai.
Yeah.
I don't want none of this stupid shit. I want fucking dudes in spandex fighting giant monsters in spandex. That's what I fucking want, right? I don't want this dumb shit, you know. But then they posted a screenshot of it because they would always post every week screenshots, and they're like always like memed out
Hmm.
of like just like a joke, like hey, there's new episodes. Here's a joke. But they posted a screenshot or a GIF of an episode of Blue Blazes. Like, oh, is that like a meme thing or is that like just the show?
Hmm.
So I downloaded the first episode just to see what it was, and it's straight up. It's a comedy biography manga about I can't remember his name, but a mangaka who went to art school, like animation school, with the guy who made Ava. And
Ah.
it's about him and like his classmates who eventually all become famous animators and
Hmm.
mangaka and all this kind of stuff, right? And it's about him like early 70s when they're in college or whatever, and like they're just like all like played up to 1,000% of like the personality types. So like he thinks he is a prodigy mangaka, right? He wears a black long sleeve T-shirt with like flames on it, and wears the same outfit every single day. It has like like the long hair, and he just thinks he is like the number one, set up be all the best guy in the world. And then the guy who makes Ava, what's his name? Is that Hideki?
Uh. Ano. Yeah.
So he's like a fucking weirdo, like a fucking weirdo motherfucker, and they'll be like walking through a mall and there'll be a TV screen of Gundam and they'll like just stop walking and like look at the screen and be like, "Oh my god. this is amazing. This is the best thing of all time. And there's a bit in one of the first episodes where they do the first animation project, and the
Hmm.
main character's like, it's all inner monologue. So he's sitting there in the fucking like film room with all the class. He's like, they have no idea what's about to happen. I'm about to destroy this place. I'm about to show these people what animation really is all about. And then it shows Hideki Anno's his animation, and it's like so fucking much better than his. And he's
Yeah.
like, "What? I cannot believe it. It's so good." And it's shit like that. Like it's such a goofy concept for a manga in general, but it's even goofier to me that's live action. So I had to find it again to watch it recently, and you
You have
have
to
to
sail the seas.
you have to
Yeah.
break rules to find it to get it. And I think you really dig it because it's like such a you like Ava, so it's like you can kind of see like I had no love for Ava obviously, but to
Hmm.
me I understand like the characterization of that fucking guy is so fucking
Yeah.
funny. Um, I really dig that show. But the whole point is that the main character like loves Gundam so much, and it's such a new fad, like a massive
Mhm.
show. Like he'll be with a girl who's like thinks he's also amazing because she's like ditzy. And he'll be like, you can't. Okay, she's like, I want to hang out with you. He's like, no, you can't hang out tonight because I got stuff to do. Right? And they'll be talking like in his apartment. He's like, hold on, stop talking. Shh. Turns the TV on and it's Gundam. And he's like, this is amazing.
This is
The
amazing.
animation, the sound effects. And he's like, it's a really funny show. So
Okay. That's fine.
that's my tangent.
Okay. Good stuff.
What else have you been doing, man? Check anything else out?
Um, trying to think. I read my next volume of Chainsaw Man. So I think that puts me up to like chapter 25 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Um, I think I'm just gonna read the rest of it on the Shonen Jump app that I finally paid money for. So,
You should, dude.
but um, but yeah, I mean that's the only other thing that I've really been checking out. I mean, there's not much to talk about with Chainsaw Man because I'm not reading anything new. I've already read this part before. I'm just like, it's been like it's been at least a half a year since I read Chainsaw Man, and then I dropped it because I it's hard for me to keep up with weekly releases of manga, so or monthly, however
Right.
Chainsaw Man is. I think Chainsaw Man is actually monthly, but or
Well,
it's weekly. I can't remember,
what chapter is it on
but
now? Do you know?
well, it's done now. I think it's on. I think it got to like.
So it's finished.
Well, part one is
Okay.
finished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, he said that like this is
Right.
part one, and then he's coming out with like a continuation of it.
Well, you know, if it's on chapter 52, then
I think it's on like chapter 90 or something like that.
okay.
96 chapters, yeah. So,
Well, do you know when it first came out?
I think it first came out in like
Well,
2019.
even better. How do you know how long the chapters are? If it's 22 pages, then it's weekly.
Oh yeah, I think it's weekly. It's like 22
Then it's
pages,
probably
something.
weekly then, because monthly is always usually like 30 to 40 pages. I thought.
Yeah, it's like 20 pages. So
I'm pretty sure. I could be completely wrong. Maybe
that
like
makes that. I mean, it makes more sense that yeah, if it's a weekly, it's gonna have
because
less
at least like
pages.
One Piece Naruto is always 22, 20 pages, 18 pages. I've never seen them
Yeah,
monthly.
I think it's weekly because I think the only ones that they have that are popular Shonen Jump that are like monthly on their app are Spy Family and Kaiju. So,
Right. Okay.
which I need to catch up to that too. I've heard that there's some crazy shit going on down in Kaiju. So,
Oh, okay. Cool, man. Well, hopefully that works out for you, man.
hopefully. All right. So, Jason, what you been checking out this
Dude,
week?
nothing. I got like
Nothing.
two things.
I had like two things, so that works.
Yeah. The first thing I did was rewatch the first. I get no, not really. I rewatched season 2 and 3 of Seinfeld.
I've actually never seen Seinfeld.
It's good.
Like I've never actually sat down to like watch it. That's what everybody says. Everybody's like, "Yeah, it's great. It's like
It's
one of the
good.
greatest
Yeah,
sitcoms." I'm like,
yeah.
it probably is. I just never have like taken the time to actually sit
I
down and
mean,
like watch it.
I'm not a sitcom guy usually. I
Hmm.
don't really have the. I've seen a handful. I mentioned a couple weeks ago How I Met Your
Have you
Mother.
watched Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I've seen the first couple seasons. I'm not up to date on it.
Okay.
But I liked what I saw. I'm probably like 4 years behind on whatever's out. I don't even know if it's still going. I'm assuming it is.
I think I saw that there was like a new season for it like last year or
Yeah.
something.
But I saw the first couple seasons. The one I haven't seen is Arrested Development. I've never seen any of that.
I think I've watched like an episode of that, and I think I liked it, but I just never went on. I think it was like I had to like leave, and then I just never like sat down and like watched the next
Yeah.
episode.
The thing is with Curb is like I because you know the whole idea between George and Larry, right?
No.
So in Seinfeld, the character George Costanza, Jason Alexander's character,
Hmm.
that is Larry, from Curb,
Oh,
Larry David. So like
okay.
he wrote that. That's him as like that's like his character. Like it's like based on
So it's
him.
basically for him as a
Yeah,
character.
it's based on him. It's like all his mannerisms. So when you watch Curb, it's like very similar kind of guy because it's based on that's what George is based on. But
Okay.
even that, with that being said, Jason Alexander does a better Larry David than Larry David
Then
does.
Larry David.
Yeah, and they're very different shows, but
Hmm.
um, I Seinfeld's really funny, and it's 22 minutes of like, hey, you want to just fucking not think for 22 minutes, and you can watch the show. And again, it's just a show about nothing, so nothing
Yeah.
fucking happens. So there's no like worry about plot line or who's dating who. At the end of the
Yeah.
22 minutes, when they fucking play that bass line, nothing else
Burr, 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 burr,
matters.
burr.
Nothing else happened. But I skipped season one. It's like 5 episodes because it's not good, really.
Why is it that all famous sitcoms have like? I feel
Because
like where it's
they're
like
trying to figure it out, man.
it's all because The Office has the same shit where it's like, well, not even like that. It's not good, but like it's short.
Yeah,
Like The
because they're
Office was
short.
like 5 episodes.
Yeah,
Seinfeld is five. I'm pretty sure Parks and Rec was like five or
because they
six.
don't want a full order they want to order have a order of a full season for a show. It's not gonna be good.
Right, I guess
You
so.
know,
But then Batwoman is a full season,
well,
so
because
like, what the fuck?
they can't double down on it now because they can't back down from that shit now. They should have been canceled. If it was any other show, they would have canceled that shit so fast.
Dude, honestly, I don't know why it wasn't canceled. When you lose your main star, like,
No,
how is that
it
not like cause for
absolutely should have been
cancellation?
canceled, but since they had to double down on not canceling it because of the fact of what it is.
Yeah, that's
If it was
true.
any other show, they would have canceled it. NBC cancels shit for way less
For way less than
for
losing
that.
your main star of
Yeah.
your show.
Or also maybe the viewers are there somewhere. I don't know. Maybe they're whatever.
Maybe. I don't know.
But with Seinfeld, nothing
So
matters in the
basically,
show.
start from season two with Seinfeld.
Y- y- if you're gonna watch it, to start from the beginning, but you
Okay.
don't get the logo until season three. The first two seasons
Oh.
have like the old like just text logo, but season
Hmm.
three is the first logo that actually has like the circle logo with
The yellow
the
circle.
'90s font.
Yeah.
Um, and then that's kind of where the show starts really picking up speed.
Okay.
It's kind of like The Simpsons, where
Where can you watch it?
Hulu has it.
Oh, see, that's
Yeah,
my problem. I
if
still
you
haven't bought Hulu.
yeah, I have Hulu. What's it called now? I still have ad free Hulu, so it's like okay, well, I'm paying
So it's
for
like
it. I might
it's
as
like the
well.
$15 or whatever,
Yeah, it's
right?
like $13.
Something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I was using it to watch ER.
Yeah, yeah,
ER, and then Seinfeld's on there, so I'm watching that. And then also at some point, I'll use it to watch fucking. I was
Mike Tyson.
watching 24 as well.
Oh yeah.
No, fucking what was it? X Files. I'll use it to finish X Files.
Is that off Netflix? Because I remember when I tried to do my
It's
rewatch
been
in
on
like
Hulu.
college, it was on Netflix.
Yeah, it's been on Hulu for the last little while.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Seinfeld's good to watch, man. I recommend it. There's a lot
Maybe
of
I'll
funny.
actually have to burn down and finally get Hulu because it's also has it's always sunny, and I've been wanting to
Yeah,
rewatch It's Always Sunny for a long time. So
yeah, that's on there. They do have Kelly Bebop again, so that's on there.
oh, that's nice.
But I mean, who knows?
Got your Attack on Titan and all that
Maybe
shit.
I'll watch that show. But Seinfeld's good. I'm on season three. I finished season three. I don't know if I'm gonna. I paused watching Fresh Prince to watch this.
Okay.
Even though they're very different shows. But
Yeah, very different.
I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching. I already know what happens, and I'm not the kind of guy who rewatches sitcoms.
Mm.
Um,
So you've already watched Seinfeld
yeah,
before.
I've seen Seinfeld before.
Okay.
I watched it as a kid with my dad, and then I watched it again in high school, and then I
Okay.
watched it again early college.
Interesting.
And I'm not the kind of guy who's like just turns it on to watch. I think that's the majority. I think that's the majority of Seinfeld people are like Friends people, like my girlfriend, who's like they
Yeah.
just turn it on just to have it there, and like I do that with like podcasts or Psych.
Yeah, I do that with like podcast. Yeah, I've never really like because I know. I mean, it's like the stereotypical joke of like people who just watch The Office, and there are
Mm-hmm.
people who are like that in the world. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've never like yeah, I've never sat down and like gone to rewatch a sitcom except for Psych. Psych's been the only one that I like kind of like went back to. But like, I mean, yeah, I've watched like Parks and Rec, and I've watched The Office, and I watched How I Met Your Mother, and I've like,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a desire to like go back and like
No.
watch them again.
Yeah.
Maybe like certain
Yeah.
episodes, but like never like the whole series over again.
So I'm the inverse. I've had
Hmm.
desires to rewatch How I Met Your Mother, but never episodes.
Interesting.
Because I've watched that entire show. I binge watched that entire show,
Yeah.
but I could not tell you an episode.
Uh,
There's the episode where where
I
Ted
don't know.
goes
I
to
don't know
his
episodes. I know concepts in the show
yeah,
and like
duh, yeah.
jokes, but yeah, I don't
Not
think
even
I
that. I
like.
couldn't even tell you a joke. If
The
someone's
only
like,
episode that I can remember is Crazy Eyes because that is such a weird episode,
I
and
don't
it's
know
also
which one
like the
that
name of
is.
the episode. It's like I don't even remember the guy's name, but he like dates a girl, and then you have Barney talking about how you can tell some girls are crazy by the look
Right.
of their eyes.
If someone asked me, hey, should I watch this show? I'm like, which one? How I Met Your Mother? Yeah, you should. It's good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a good show.
What's funny about it?
You just got to watch it.
I don't know. There's an episode where Ted dates the girl who is the roommate to his future wife, and there's the umbrella that Ted has. That's it. That's all I
There's
fucking remember.
the Blue Horn. There's Judge Fudge. Judge
Yeah.
Fudge is probably my favorite.
Oh, I know the ending. The ending sucked. I know that. There's
Yeah,
that.
the ending blows. That last episode is awful.
Yeah, the ending blows. It's like well, it's also like to tie back to to Seinfeld with like The Simpsons, right? Which I haven't finished.
Yeah.
A show that I used to watch every day.
Well, Simpson's still going, so you can't finish it. But
I'm pretty sure I thought it was over now.
no, I'm pretty sure it's still going.
I don't know. I haven't watched it in fucking
Pretty
15
sure it
years.
is. I don't think I've seen anything about them like canceling it or anything like that.
But like the thing is like, um, here let's find out real quick because I want to know.
I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, I know it's not as popular as it used to be, but I think it's still going.
No, I think it says it's still going. I think Wikipedia.
Yeah,
It says current.
because I think the latest episode, I think the latest season was made in 2019.
Oh, I don't know. It says current. So this is the dash mark. So we'll go with that. But
Okay.
that's a show that I watched every single day as a kid. And my dad really liked the show. At least he, liked parts of the show.
Mhm.
And even when I went to go back and rewatch it, because I would catch reruns of that show. I never rewatched it since I stopped watching TV like regularly.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, Wikipedia. I haven't seen the first season. If I had seen the first season, it was like just the episodes that they reran.
Mhm.
So where do I start? There's fucking so many seasons, right? And people are like, go to season 4. And I'm like, season fucking 4?
Of The
I have
Simpsons.
to skip that many fucking seasons? And people were like, season 3 to 9 is like what you remember of Simpsons. That's like the good Simpsons. Post that, trash. I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking like of like the timeline of what would have been me watching Simpsons. I'm like, that's pretty accurate. Like from what I remember of Simpsons, it's season 3 to 9. That's what.
Yeah, I never really watched The Simpsons, but but I remember Super Eye Patch's video talking about the fall of The Simpsons. He's like, basically after season 9, the show becomes not as good.
I saw people on the Simpsons Reddit being like, no, it's good, just not as good.
Yeah,
But also like, if you put in that 10 years of your life watching a show, maybe you just keep watching it.
yeah,
Um, I've never had that problem dumping a show. I'll dump a show if I hate the fucking theme song. There are so many Netflix shows, and it's obviously easier to dump Netflix shows because it's easier to dispose of. But
Yeah,
like
that's true.
there are shows where I'll be like, I'm not watching the show. Why aren't you watching? Is it not good? I don't know. But the fucking main actor looks dumb. Name of the show, stupid. Theme song, dumb. Not watching it. Like I've so easy to do that for me.
I don't know. I saw the trailer for that new Netflix movie yesterday. I think it came out like a day or two ago. It's like Shadow and Bone or whatever.
Yeah. Oh man,
I watched the trailer. The
You
what?
know about this?
The what? Shadow and Bone?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, but I saw the
Okay.
trailer. I was like, the concept's interesting, but then I saw the main girl, and I was like, eh, not
So
really,
Shadow
not
and
really.
Bone is a YA book series.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's a YA book series. I've never read it, but I have read the first book of a separate installment in the universe. It's called
Okay.
Six of Crows,
Okay.
right? And I didn't know it was a YA book until people were like, "You should read Six of Crows online." They're like, "Six of Crows." It's like fucking Ocean's 11 with superpowers. It's super fucking cool. I go, okay, yeah, let's fucking the cover look cool. Let's fucking do it.
All
So
right.
I'm at the store trying to find it, and it's like where the fuck's this book at? I'm like walking through the fucking like fantasy sci-fi. I'm like, where the fuck is this book at? Right? And I'm like, God damn it, I know where it's at. So I walk the aisle over, fucking right there, bestseller. I'm like, shit. Okay, so I buy the shit, and it was fine. It's a duology. I didn't read the second one. I just read the first one.
Okay.
It was fine, and this is like I guess either a like it happens earlier in the timeline, but there's like some war going on. Like the military is inspired by like Russian style
Yeah, I
military.
saw some shit. There's like some weird black cloud or something like that, and the girl has like sun powers or some dumbass bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
I
it,
don't know.
but
I
all
was
I know is that like
all I saw was they had that last shot in the trailer where she like they actually do like the CGI light, and I was like, oh, that looks
yeah,
fucking awful.
there are so many. There's been like six
It's also got the dude from
Netflix.
the Hunger Games in it. The main guy is like the game master or whatever from the Hunger Games with like the
Yeah,
guy's facial hair. I
I was
swear
gonna
to
say.
God, it's the same dude.
Yeah, it's Prince Caspian,
Oh, he is Prince Caspian.
Narnia. I was gonna say that Netflix has like five or six of these YA series that are
I got a
out
bunch.
that like are like there's one about like there's the fucking Wings Club one.
Yeah, I saw that, which was like, I saw that and I was like, am I mistaken? Is this based off the cartoon that was like,
Yes.
but it's a live action? How are they going to
Yeah.
be fairies?
They're fairies, dude.
I don't know. That shit doesn't make
I
any.
watched
I saw the Winx Club and I was like, wait, this is based off a cartoon? I was like, nah, skip.
yeah, I was like, this is no way. So I click on it and I watched the trailer and
I
then
can't wait to see Totally Spies be adapted then.
dude, that's why I was talking to my girlfriend about this. I was like, let's watch the trailer for the show. Wings
Honestly,
Club.
if they did a live action Totally Spies, I would probably watch that. As long
Yeah,
as the girls
yeah,
were hot.
I would have to watch it. But I remember we were watching the trailer for Wings Club, and then one of the main girls, um, oh, where are my wings at? like because the cartoon they have wings, and the teacher was like, oh, we got rid of this a long time ago. And I was like, fucking you
Fuck,
guys,
that's
stop.
so no, fuck you.
Don't be
You're
don't think you're being
fairies. If you don't have
don't,
wings, then fuck off.
don't think you're being self-aware.
I
No,
get
this
it.
is still
I
a
get
show
it,
about
Netflix.
fucking
You didn't want to put in
fairies.
the budget to give them wings, but fuck you.
Yeah, there's like this one. There's a show about like, oh, we are wizards at a school. There's one we're vampires at a school. I'm like, dude, Jesus Christ, they're
I
all the
saw one.
same.
It doesn't. It looks like it probably isn't a YA novel, but I've never heard of it. But I did want to watch it, which was the Warrior Nun series that they had. I think they came out like a
Oh,
year ago or something like that. It looks and sounds like it's based off a YA novel, but I've never heard of a YA novel
Yeah,
that's popular by that name. But I've also never heard of Shadow and Bone, and apparently that's popular.
yeah,
So
it's real
I'm not really
popular.
clued in on the whole thing. But
Yeah, I don't give a shit about YA. I think
I
the
haven't
concepts
given a
are real
shit about
boring.
YA since I read Twilight.
Yeah,
That was about the last time I gave a shit.
and even then, I didn't give a shit about it. I just wanted to see.
I want to see
I
what all the hubbub was
I
about.
I enjoyed reading those books in high school.
They're not terrible books for being in high.
No, they're terrible books.
They're not
They're
terrible
they're
books.
poorly written as a
For young
motherfucker.
adults, they're not terrible.
No, they're
For
just
anybody who
terrible
has
books
like
in
a
general.
sophisticated palate and like uses critical thinking skills, they're really stupid. But
they're terrible in general. They're bad books, right? But the characters within the book are like, you're like, okay, let's see where you go with this. Um, and I'll get to that when we get to our topic. But I have to pee so bad, real quick, dude.
All right, dude.
Hey, run it real
You're
fast.
good.
Talk about Twilight for like 2 seconds.
Well, I mean, what is there really to talk about Twilight that hasn't been said before? I mean, I don't know. I always felt like, and I never finished the movies for Twilight, but I did finish all the books, and I think that was kind of like what stopped me from like finishing the movies because like I don't know, I already read the books and I knew what happened, and I wasn't like super enthralled with like how she ended the book, so it was like I don't know if I'm like super not okay with like what you did with the books. Why would I want to watch a movie that is clearly just like adapting the like mainline story like word for word pretty much? I don't know. I mean, the thing that really got me reading into Twilight in the first place was the fact that it was like me and my mom were reading it at the same time, and so it was like kind of like a fun thing that I like could do with my mom. And then we also went to watch the first movie together. I think we watched the second movie too, but it was like after the second movie, I was like, I don't really care about this anymore, and I don't think she really cared about it after the point because it was like I think it was like after the second movie came out, it was like we were both. It took too long for the third movie to come out for me and my mom. So I don't know. I don't really think that like. I don't know if she ever watched the third movie, but I know I didn't. I didn't really care about the movies after that point. But I mean, for Twilight, for me, I mean, the only reason I really got into it was because of my mom. So
What a weird, what a weird introduction to that series is from your mother.
yeah, I don't know. I think it was at one of those points where it was like, because my mom's always been into she's always been like her main fiction niche that like she fucking loves more than anything else is vampire shit.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like reading. I think she got hooked on Twilight from like somebody else. She's like, "This is a good book. You should read it." And so like I was like, "Okay, I'll read like at the same time as my mom." And then we like went to watch the movie together. And I was like, "It's not terrible, but it's not like the greatest book I ever wrote. Or it's not the greatest book I've ever read or anything like that." Um,
Could you
and then we got
imagine?
to like the end of Twilight, and I was like, "This is like hot garbage." Like I hated how she ended the
Yeah.
shit.
Could you imagine someone who be like, dude, you have no idea.
Dude, this is like the greatest.
Twilight is probably the
That was like
greatest
every single
piece of.
girl, like when we were in high school, they're like, "This is the greatest book series ever written."
I don't. I feel like there's. But are they coming at it from the sense of like, look, this is bad, but it's
I
good.
don't
It's
know.
good. Or they're like, this is
I don't give them
Ulysses.
the benefit of the doubt of that with Twilight. I do give them that with 50 Shades of Grey because I feel like that book's just hot garbage, and everybody knows it's hot garbage, but it's also like
You
sexually.
know, that's a fucking what's it called?
That's the BDSM
Fanfic.
shit.
No, it's a fanfic of Twilight.
Is it?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. I've seen 50 Shades of Grey.
I haven't.
I haven't. If you asked me 2 months ago, I would have said no. I've never seen it. But my girlfriend said let's watch them. I was like, fucking
Did you
Jesus
watch all of
Christ.
them?
Yeah,
What is it? Three or
all
four?
three of them.
Three movies?
Nothing fucking happens
I
in
feel like
three
that's like the
movies.
whole series. It's like the BDSM shit, and then they just get married, right?
It's three movies and nothing
They
happens.
don't even get married.
They get married, and
Oh,
but
okay.
there's no plot. There's no fear. In the third movie, they're like randomly. There's like,
They tried to
oh
do that
my,
shit in that third movie trailer. I remember they had that shit where it was like she was doing something and she would close the door and there was like somebody stand behind her or some shit like
yes,
that.
that does happen
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Like one of her ex bosses is like, I want revenge. So here's what happens, dude. Okay, real quick. Spoiler alert: 50 Shades
Let's
of
break
Grey.
down 50 Shades of Grey.
So the main character is this college girl, right?
Okay.
And she's like studying to like be to like lit English lit or something. So she
Okay.
wants to work in books. So she
She
has
works for
to go
like a
interview.
magazine, right? Or something like that.
No, it's a publisher eventually.
Okay.
But so she has to go interview Christian Grey for
Mm.
her friend who's like a journalist major because she's sick. So
Oh,
she interviews him for her friend.
that's
He's
so
like,
stupid.
he's like, I'm all about this girl, right? And he's like, she's
I'm all
like,
about this girl. She's super submissive. She'll do whatever
yeah,
I want.
and she's like, yeah, I'm all about this guy, right? So
Yeah, he'll punch me
flash
in the
forward,
face. I love it.
she graduates from college, and he's like, you should come move to live with me in Seattle and be like my fucking weirdo thing.
Okay.
So she does that, and she gets a job at this publishing company, and her boss is like some asshole, like creepy guy who like tries to like sexually assault her or something.
Oh.
So like her boyfriend being this billionaire guy gets him fired, right?
Okay.
Obviously, and then her being a 3-month graduate of college puts her in the position of like publisher, editor of this publishing company, and she just succeeds at finding new talent for the company, and the company's like, good job, you're really good at this position, right?
Oh my God.
So flash forward to the end of the series where the boss is like, I want revenge on fucking this bitch and this fucking guy. I want revenge, right?
Ugh.
He's like, it should have been me. It should have been me,
Like
right?
he wanted to
Whatever.
date her?
So he like kidnaps like he like robs a bank or something, or like
What the
fucking
fuck?
puts a bomb. I can't remember what it was. He did some dumb like some crime
Some
shit, like
dumbass shit, yeah.
some stupid shit, right? And then it ends up being that um so Christian Grey was adopted by this really rich family,
Uh-huh.
right? But in the same boys' home was her boss. And it should have been him. He should have been adopted instead of him.
God, that's so stupid.
How the fuck?
What
How the
what kind
fuck?
of like fucking hula hoops do you have to jump through to like make that story work?
And there's the
It
and
just
the
so
scene,
happened that your former boss was in the same orphanage as your
yeah.
boyfriend.
And there's a picture like where like they're flipping through the picture like old Polaroids of like when the Christian Grey's and the boys home. And he's like, wait, that's me right there. That's the boss. And you're like, oh
Bum
my
bum
fucking
bum.
god. Fucking terrible.
That's such shitty writing.
6 hours of my life I will never get back again.
Did your girlfriend like it?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, she knew that they were bad.
Yeah.
We were making fun
But
of it.
that's what I think. I think 50 Shades gets that password. Like everybody knows it's bad, and like it's shitty, but it's also like slightly
No.
sexual. So people are like, I can enjoy it for like the sleaze that it is.
I couldn't help thinking of watching this movie was Dakota Johnson.
She's actually a good actress now, which is weird.
What is she in?
She was in Bad Times at El Royale. She was great in that.
Oh, right. All I know is that she shows her boobs like every 5 seconds.
Does she really?
Boobs all day. We watched unrated versions.
Okay.
So,
Well, that makes
boobs
sense.
all day, right?
Not for this.
And I'm like,
Dakota Johnson.
and I was like, dude, all I'm thinking about is like her dad. I'm like, your dad. And it's not saying she shouldn't have done it, but her dad is the main guy from Miami Vice.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's Sonny Crockett. It's fucking Don Johnson.
Damn.
It's Nash Bridges. So I'm sitting there being like, your fucking dad, dude, is fucking Sonny from Miami Vice. You don't have to worry about doing this. This is not going to make your career better.
Yeah.
It's a payday, and I get that. And you may think that you're advancing your career, but when you get to be like, hit your dad's age, who has like a laundry list of like insanely TV accolades. Miami Vice alone is like, that's, oh my god, your career's made, Miami Vice.
Yeah.
But you're telling your fucking children like, what made me a household name in the world of cinema? And you're like, there was a movie where,
oh, what? She was also in fucking Suspiria, dude.
oh, okay,
She fucking killed it in that movie.
my career was jump started when I was fucking showing my boobs and like tied to a bed. What the fuck you talking about?
And that's the thing that's weird is I've never seen those movies, but it's like the typical path for her would be like a Kristen Stewart who like is still a terrible actress and does like dog shit roles. But she's actually got like some decent films like under her belt since she left 50 Shades, which is the strangest part.
I don't know, man. It was a waste of 6 hours. It really was.
Yeah. Should have watched Suspiria. It's much better, man.
It's the window of what I can watch, or we'll watch together is very small. It takes a long time to locate a movie that we're worth watching, and someone's having to compromise.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, let's watch Commando.
Yeah. That's true.
I want to watch Commando every day.
Yeah.
But she won't want to watch. Like, I'll be like, let's watch First Blood. She won't want to watch First Blood, so I'm not even gonna offer it.
Yeah.
So it has to be like kind of like, and she'll offer up like, let's watch like one of those shitty Vanessa Hudgens Christmas movies,
Oh.
right? And I'm like, ugh. So we have to like come to a conclusion in between. And it's a
Don't you
very
want to watch the 24 Days of a Hallmark Christmas or whatever the fuck that shit's
right.
called?
It's shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So we have to like um Venn diagram it, like find
Mm-hmm.
things we both like. Princess Diaries.
Yeah.
Um, we'll watch that. I've never seen it, but that's something that she likes, right?
It's, I
Princess
remember the
Bride
first one,
is
kind of.
one. Princess Bride's a big one.
Princess
Watch
Bride's
that.
great.
Yeah.
That's a good middle of the road movie, yeah, where it's got something for each buddy. For each person.
Well, it's funny because like she a couple I don't know a few months ago she had to do a paper for her grad school, and it was like explain your idea about reality. Like, what is reality? And she was like she was having a hard time like answering the question. I was like, this is fucking easy, dude. This is fucking easy,
The
right?
chair is not a chair. How
So
about
I'm literally just being like sitting there typing, just like typing it up, right?
okay.
I'm like, this is fucking easy. This is the easy question. This is super easy, right? And she's like, I just don't think that way. I go, I get that, but this is easy. You should watch The Matrix. You should watch this is all The Matrix is.
Yeah, it's basically
Literally.
the entire thing of the Matrix. Yeah.
What's up? Red pill, blue pill. Which one do you want?
Is the
No.
couch real?
Follow the rabbit or don't? What do you want to do? Like that's it. Psst. Dragula. That's all you we like slam me back my Dragula. That's what you need. The last thing I watched, and we can go right, and right after that go right into our
Yeah.
review for the week. I watched a Jean Claude Van Damme classic. It's actually a classic, but it's one of my least favorite Van Damme movies.
Okay.
Universal Soldier.
I've never seen a Universal Soldier.
So it's
That's Dolph Lundgren too, right?
Yep, it's Jean Claude Van Damme. It's Dolph Lundgren, and it's about these soldiers who die in various wars who are brought back by the military to become like special operations, like robot soldiers.
Okay.
And
So they're like cyborgs.
they're alive, but they're brought back with like these like chemicals, so they're like their memories are wiped, like Wolverine wiped memories.
Okay.
They're like Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Like basically they have superpowers and stuff
Right.
like that. And he gets his memories back, and he's like trying to like save this reporter from being killed because she kind of like uncovered the conspiracy of the government plan.
Okay.
And it's not his best work. It's a really successful movie. It's directed by Roland Emmerich.
Was it really?
Yeah, so it's like a couple years later we
Right.
get Independence Day.
Yeah.
You know, this is 91, I think.
And a couple years after that, he did. I know that was Michael Bay. I was thinking Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, that's not him. But it's not my favorite Van Damme movie. It's definitely not Hard Target. It's definitely not Lionheart. It's definitely not Bloodsport. It's definitely not Kickboxer. But it's in that like list of like early '90s bangers that he's doing every fucking year. It's not Time Cop.
Yeah.
It's not Time Cop. But he did so many movies within like the span of like '89 to like '96. He did
fucking hard worker. Yeah.
so many movies, and to me they're all good. Like this is a good movie, but it's not really a because you have to split the camera time between Dolph and him.
Right.
Right. So and they're good together, but it's not. And there's a lot more guns in this movie. It's a gun movie, so it's not really. You get very little Van Damme doing Van Damme stuff.
Yeah, because Van Damme's at his best when he's doing martial arts. So
yes, and he does some martial arts in it, but it's not like he's out there doing sweet ass kicks every 4 minutes.
He's not kicking a grenade into some guy's pants. Yeah.
No, but it's a good movie for what it is.
Okay.
It makes me. I watched it and I immediately was like, dude, I just need to go watch every other Van Damme movie again.
Okay.
Because I haven't done it yet, but that's the plan. He's my favorite, so
yeah.
If I can get a Van Damme tattoo, I would. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
You need to watch a bunch of his movies still, dude.
Yeah, I know. I need to watch a bunch. I need to watch Kickboxer, Lionheart. What was the other one you said?
Kickboxer is so good, dude.
Kickboxer
it has the dancing scene in it.
Time Cop.
Time Cop is classic.
What was the other one you said? It was after Hard Target, but before. Brave?
Is
that what it was?
There's Lionheart. There's Legionnaire. There's Hard Target, obviously.
I watched Hard Target. Yeah.
There's Time Cop.
Mm.
These are just like a couple of the big ones. Kickboxer. Black Eagle. He plays a bad guy in it. He's really good in that. There's another Replicant is a new later one.
Hmm.
Oh, there's another one, Death Warrant. That's really good.
Hmm.
All these super like 90s ass action titles. Death Warrant.
I remember
Lionheart.
Expendables 2, him being the best part of Expendables 2. You
Well,
don't play
see,
the bad guy in that.
yeah. Well, think of like with Jean Claude. I'm not gonna get too deep into it because I can go for 3 hours about Jean Claude. Of all the like big action guys, he's the only martial artist.
Yeah.
Like Arnie doesn't do martial arts.
No.
Sly doesn't do martial arts. Bruce doesn't do martial arts. But JCVD was like, he's what gave us Scott Adkins.
Yeah.
He's what gave us the newer age of like big martial arts stunt guys who also shoot guns but do martial arts really well.
Yeah.
And man, just to watch that scene in Kickboxing where he's in the fucking restaurant dancing with the fucking Asian girls, and he's dancing. His dancing is so weird. I can't even I can't dance at all, so I can't replicate it. But he is in it, dude.
Okay.
You can Google it, YouTube it after the podcast. Don't even watch the movie. Just watch him dancing. It's like 4 minutes where he's like just fucking hip thrusting and shit. It's so fucking funny. And he is yoked. This is like 89, so he is
Okay, he's a
Bloodsport
big boy.
yoked. He's like he leans out, and by like 92, 91,
Yeah.
he's like he's not as big in Bloodsport as he is in fucking Hard Target. You know, in Hard Target he's like he's obviously in shape, but he's not like Bloodsport. He was fucking
Bloodsport, he's
yoked.
pretty yoked. Yeah.
He was yoked up. And in Universal Soldier, you don't really ever see him. You see his butt every now and then. You see him without his gear on. He's not yoked up. He's just super in shape. But
Yeah.
Universal Soldier, it's good. The dumbest part about Universal Soldier, before we go on, is that in the beginning of the movie, when they travel around like his group of like Universal Soldiers, they're called Unisouls.
Okay.
They travel around this like big ass high tech caravan where the scientists have to like wipe their memories and like work on their bodies because they heal really fast because of their regenerative abilities, and they keep them like in this like cryo freezer type thing. Well, when they're like walking in unison like in line, and they're like like they're robots, and I'm like, this is not RoboCop. You don't have fucking
Yeah.
You don't have machine parts in your body, dude. You don't gotta do that.
They're
Like they're not saying that, but like their bodies are like.
making those weird mechanical sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But
Interesting.
last thing I wanted to say before we get to our last topic, or the topic of the show, is Rugrats 2021 looks okay.
Which one?
Rugrats. There's a new trailer coming.
Oh
new trailer
yeah,
for
I didn't
Rugrats.
watch the trailer for Rugrats.
Looks okay.
I saw that came out.
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of like the updated art style. It's like more CGI.
Yes, it's definitely a CGI.
Yeah.
It looks okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm fine. With it.
Do you want to hit any of these trailers that are big to you? Do you care?
I mean, the only one that I mean, I know you don't really care because you don't really care about the game, but I mean, the Final Fantasy thing is like pretty fucking huge.
Yeah, is it a fighting game, or is that's just a report of the last game, Final Fantasy VII?
So
news?
so the Final Fantasy VII. So they made like 3 announcements, technically 4, which was like, if I ever get my hands on a PS5, I get the PS5 upgrade with Final Fantasy VII for free, which is nice.
Okay. Right.
They also get the Yuffie DLC for once you upgrade to PS5, and she looks great.
Right.
She looks fucking fantastic, and it looks really, really fun to be able to play that DLC. They also did like a Battle Royale Final Fantasy. That was another announcement. That's on mobile. That I don't really care about because I don't play Battle Royales.
Yeah, neither do I.
And I definitely am not going to play one on my phone. And then the last one that they came out was that they're basically remaking Final Fantasy VII, Advent Children, Crisis Core, Before Crisis Core, and some other one. Oh, Dirge of Cerberus.
Oh, God.
All in their like turn-based RPG style, except for Dirt. I don't know. They didn't really show Dirge, so I don't know because I know that's not a turn-based RPG, so I don't know how.
No, 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 no.
I
I'm
also know it's
surprised. I'm
terrible. Max was
surprised they
talking about it too.
even.
He's like, it's like a terrible fucking game, and it like
I'm
ruins Final
surprised they even
Fantasy.
acknowledge its existence.
Yeah, well, that's what Max. Because I guess there's some acknowledgement of like Dirge of Cerberus and like the Yuffie DLC, like the main bad
Mm,
guy that shows up at the end is like apparently from Dirge, and
okay.
Max was like, "Fuck,
Yeah.
like, don't do
No.
Dirge. Like, Dirge like ruined Final Fantasy lore. Like, it's a terrible game, and like all those characters are fucking stupid." Um,
Yeah. It's to me. It's not the equivalent, but it's in the same wheelhouse as like MGS Revengeance.
oh, yeah, Revengeance, yeah.
It's like, oh man.
I liked playing Revenge. I mean, I don't really know. I didn't really know much about Metal Gear when I was playing it, but like as far as like an action game, like it's a fun action game.
It's a fun action game, but it's not a Metal Gear game.
No, it's
You're
not
like,
Metal
you're like
Gear.
you this it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a completely different play style from like playing a Metal Gear game.
And Dirge of Cerberus is bad.
Yeah, I've heard that. I think Max did a. I didn't watch his whole playthrough, but I know he like did a playthrough of it again. I think it was around like right before like Final Fantasy VII came out, the remake
Oh,
came out or something like
yeah.
that. And he was like playing it, and I just remember seeing like all the thumbnails for his videos of him just like looking absolutely fucking miserable playing this piece
Yeah,
of game.
it's not good.
But yeah, so that's also coming out for iOS, which is like I'm a little more interested in that. I don't want to play it on my phone, but I guess there's also ways for you to like emulate phone games on your PC.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I'd be interested in like playing this on like my PC, like playing like a turn-based Final, like the original Final, like it's not the remake, like it's actual just like the original Final Fantasy remade on phones,
Right.
with the ATP system and all that stuff. I don't know about Crisis Core. And I've never played Crisis Core, but
Yeah,
apparently
neither
that's
have I.
also being remade like for this mobile game. So,
Mm.
but those were like the big
Okay.
things with Final Fantasy. I don't know if you watch it, but they had this Sifu game that was announced in
I saw that
PlayStation.
trailer.
That game looks hella fun.
I I I can't tell yet. You
I
know.
mean, I don't know. For me, it's like, I mean, I can't. I mean, it's hard to tell if it's like that's just if it's game if that's actual gameplay or if it's or how the gameplay actually works. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, do you like Daredevil, Netflix Daredevil? Do you like The Raid? Do you like The Punisher? Do you like
Mhm.
those hallway fight scenes? Shit, we got you, dude.
Yeah. I mean, the animations look great, but until I see HUD and
Yeah. Until I
to
actually figure out
understand,
like how the actual combo system would work.
yeah.
Um,
Because I never played Absolver, so I don't have any correlation to like how the game might work.
yeah.
But the trailer looked cool. The art style was cool, and obviously I love
Kung
martial
Fu,
arts
yeah.
stuff, so I obviously love that shit. But like, until I see the game with gameplay or health bar or how that
Yeah.
system works, I'm gonna stay optimistic or just stay kind of like, okay, it
Yeah,
looks cool. Um,
that's fair.
you know, uh, I kind of was hoping that it wouldn't get fantasy.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
kind of
I
wanted
don't
to
know. It
just
doesn't look
be
super. I mean, the return from death thing that they show is like the most fantasy aspect about it.
well.
But
Look, some of the bad guys toward the end of the trailer look more like wuxia kind of like style.
mm,
Like, towards the end, like look more kind of like supernaturally.
yeah,
And while that's cool and all, and I'm fine with that, I really was like, okay, just make it like, dude, you're just make it the raid. Like, just make
yeah.
it fucking, like real.
Just make
Like,
give me a raid game where I just
yeah,
like
just
go.
do that.
Yeah,
Give it to where I'm fucking going up this building. I'm just fucking beating up dudes. I mean, like, you can do that shit. I'll be all about
yeah,
it. It could be 100 floors, but make it RPG. Like, I don't
yeah.
fucking know.
That's fair.
But other than that, I mean, it looked cool. But I want to see more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think that's. I'm definitely. I mean, yeah. I'm excited for it, but yeah, I definitely would like want to see more before I like. I'm like wholly invested in it, but I mean, as far as like that initial trailer, um, I mean, it got me a decent bit of interest. Like, I'm definitely gonna want to follow the game and see where it goes.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
but yeah, I mean, as far as like PlayStation stuff, that was like those were like the two big things really that from what I
Okay,
saw.
cool.
Um, yeah, I didn't really hit anything else. I saw the Terminator shit. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if you knew this actually, but I saw that in an article and I didn't realize that like because I knew that they were making a Godzilla anime on Netflix as well.
Yeah,
And I guess they're also making a King Kong one, which I guess makes sense if you're gonna make a Godzilla one. But it's also weird because like I don't think the Godzilla anime is like in the Legendary universe.
Oh, really?
But it sounds like the King Kong one is.
Okay.
So that's like, I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But the Godzilla anime shit, dude. They've been like putting out some visuals for that. This shit looks pretty fucking good. Looks better than the shit that they came out with, those movies that they came out with.
Yeah, who knows, man? There's so much fucking Godzilla happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the fuck they're gonna do Terminator. And then they're like, it's not a reboot, it's like an expansion. And I was like, okay, so is it not gonna
Yeah.
have Arnold in it? Like, what?
Just make it. If you just gave me, here's how you save Terminator.
Yeah,
Here's how you save this right here.
okay,
It's simple. It's how you save this.
yeah,
He is not in the movie anymore.
yeah,
He's gone. Boom. You erase from the continuity 3 Genesis Dark Fate.
yeah.
Boom, gone.
Salvation's
All
fine.
that is in
I don't
time.
mind Salvation.
All that's in timeline is 1, 2, Salvation.
Yeah.
You can even get rid of Salvation if you want to, right? But it's so far in the
It's
future.
so far in
we
the
haven't seen
future.
that.
Yeah, it's really
So we
disconnected
can keep
from
that.
everything else.
So here's what you do, right? Whether it's the anime or the next movie, you only show me future war.
Yeah.
You don't show me anything.
Well, I mean,
I
at that
want to
point,
see
you would
the
probably
fucking.
have to get rid of Salvation unless you take it the future war
You could
before Salvation.
you can do before that. You can have John Connor as a child.
Yeah.
You know, you could have to where it's like the war is just popping off and Skynet is just out there fucking ravaging.
I
Right,
mean, that
and
would
then you
probably
can have
be what the as far as like timeline for anime. I feel like that would be the most anime friendly timeline to do.
you can like literally like you can have the entire movie be about like just humans fighting humans because they don't know yet what's happening.
Yeah.
And the bombs go off, and then at the end of the movie, the humans are sitting there fucking like sheltered. They have their fucking regular machine gun, their M16s, their M4s, and then all of a sudden you hear a, you're like, they're like, what the fuck is, and it's the very first time you see an HK, and it fucking shoots the fucking laser beams at them,
Yeah.
and it cuts the movie ends.
Okay.
Boom. That's number 1. Number 2. That's fucking months later when we're like through the HK. Like, what the fuck's HK? Hunter killer, right? And you're fucking being fucked up for the whole movie.
Yeah.
Boom. That's the whole movie. And you're like, here's our plan. We're gonna fucking go to the past. Boom. Third movie, right? Boom. They fucking figure it out. It's what Salvation did, right? Kind of like Salvation,
Okay.
kind of like whatever. But we're gonna do another one. Boom. We're gonna do it properly,
Okay.
right? That whole movie happens. They're doing whatever they gotta do. End of that movie is the beginning of Terminator 1.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
profit made.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do that
Movie
trilogy,
returned.
then you definitely have to get rid of Salvation because Salvation is basically the beginning of Terminator.
Movie returned to being good. It's simple.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm always
it.
more along with Jay's thinking like that. It's like, you know, once you make anything past Terminator 2, it doesn't make any sense because the whole point of Terminator 2 is that they stop Judgment Day. So anything
it.
after Terminator 2 is like, yeah, but fuck that because Judgment Day doesn't stop.
Well, again, it goes back to the idea that like you can change the future. Terminator 3 says, not really.
Nah.
No,
Dark Fate
you
says,
couldn't
nah,
change it.
it's going to happen anyways. It might not
Nah,
be John
it was-
Connor, but it's going to happen to somebody else. That's basically
Yeah,
Dark
it's
Fate.
dumb.
It's like, it's not going to happen to John Connor, but it'll be somebody else.
Yeah, it's stupid. So, Zach.
Yeah.
Our final topic of the week, man.
Yes.
It's the last week of this topic. What's?
It's the last week of our Vampire Hunter month.
Shit.
Black clad, leather bound, semi superheroes taking down vampires. Our last Vampire Hunter movie for this month is the 2003 Kate Beckinsale vehicle, Underworld.
Go
I'm
ahead.
bored with this movie.
Man, Zach, we could not be on separate fucking planets right now.
I don't know, Dan. I mean, it's like the concept's interesting, and I like what's going on with it, but like, I mean, the first action scene is like, first of all, in our monthly comparison of comparing it to Blade.
Mm-hmm.
The action scenes in this movie are like all gun stuff,
Yeah.
and it's not like good gunplay.
No.
Like it's all just like it's all like I mean the first thing is like the werewolf says bloods, which is nice that he's like, yeah, you got a nickname for vampires.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Then he proceeds to stand in the same spot for 5 minutes and shoot a machine gun while everybody else is running around. And then also nobody can hit each other
Yep.
except when it matters.
Yep.
Which I don't like.
Yep. I
Um,
love it.
you gotta have more people out there so that more people get hit. Cause like I don't believe that this guy is firing like what has to be like 500 rounds
Yeah.
of machine gun in the span of like 2 minutes and doesn't hit a single fucking person.
Yeah. I like that. The beginning of the movie is like. First off, I want to preface this. I
Yeah.
love this movie.
I like the ending of the movie a lot.
No, I love
I think
the entire movie.
we're on opposite planes right now because like that first hour, I was like, how? First of all, I looked at the running time. I was like, how the fuck is this a 2 hour movie?
2 hours.
How the fuck is this a 2 hour movie?
Because there's 2 hours of material, right?
Dude, he doesn't even get transformed into a werewolf until like an hour into the goddamn
This
movie.
movie
I feel like that happened way sooner from what I remembered.
Fantastic. I had no idea. I forgot Michael Sheen was fucking Lucian.
Dude, honestly, he's like one of the better parts of the whole movie.
Yeah, and they fucking just
He's
waste
like,
that character.
he kills it as Lucian. He kills it.
And they just
He
waste
saves
that character.
Every time he's on the screen, I'm like, oh yeah, okay,
So-
I'll watch him.
This movie exemplifies the awesomeness. And,
This exemplifies the '90s leather-clad.
My point is this: this movie exemplifies exactly what I love about being my age.
Okay.
As a VHS movie fan, and also the atrocity that is being a '90s VHS movie fan. Because this movie, first off, nobody, even vampires, would wear what Kate Beckinsale wears in the middle of London.
No.
Why would you wear that? That makes no sense. It's
the full black leather-clad
with
outfit,
the boots that fucking have like 5 straps.
And also, other vampires aren't wearing what she's wearing. She's the only one wearing this outfit.
Yeah. And look, the costume design, movies from this time period, like 2003, 2001.
I also don't like that the werewolves just look like homeless people.
Yeah. But like the movies in this time period, they always depict vampires in this like goth aesthetic as though that's what they would actually do. And it's kind of like, I feel like they would look normal because they're smart.
Yeah, they're not dumb.
They've progressed with times. They're not gonna wear like retro Victorian era like what Craven wears. They're not gonna wear retro Victorian clothing. You're just gonna wear fucking regular clothing.
I don't know if he wears like retro stuff. He just wears like I mean I guess he kind of his shirts are a little more poofy.
They look like
he wears a lot of glitter.
It's like
that's
he's
a weird
wearing
thing.
Shirts from the 70s that were inspired by old Victorian era clothing. It's like, dude, you would just wear a fucking like Billabong shirt. You would just like
probably
you wear a Quicksilver shirt like a regular fucking dude.
You probably just wear like you probably wear just like a regular like white T-shirt or some shit like that.
I love though that combine that aesthetic with the fucking industrial metal.
This movie is weird because I don't.
Yes.
The look of the movie is very strange because at the same time it's like I get that like logically I know this is supposed to be like 2003 like modern day society, but it also feels I have it in my brain at the same time. It feels like it's trying to be like a post-apocalyptic movie, which is strange because like the subway looks normal, but then they've got like they had the scene where they're like in his apartment building and it looks like weirdly abandoned, like there's nobody in it, and then they like go to like the water and under the docks. I don't know why they gave like a post-apocalyptic.
Well, the way it's the color correction to the movie is super blue and muted.
Oh, it's super blue,
and muted, and they clearly couldn't afford the budget to have people in the movie except for like in that first subway scene. Because even in the hospital, like this is like 2 hallways.
Yeah,
this is the 2 hallways. This is a locker room.
The only people in the hospital are the main guy and his friend, who also is a piece of shit that turns him into the cops.
Prison Break.
Yeah, is that guy from? Is that the Prison?
That's Prison Break. And the guy from.
He looks so young in this
fucking
movie.
Captain Cold.
Yeah, Captain Cold.
It's Wentworth something.
Something like that. Yeah.
But so the action that you're talking about in the movie is fucking the equivalent. And we use that again of Born Identity Steadicam action, which is essentially this: we watched The Matrix once, and we
Yeah.
thought, you know what, the Wachowskis did this slow motion stuff, so we're gonna do it too. But the problem is that in this movie, Celine will go through 4 magazines of ammo and hit nothing but glass.
Nothing. Well,
You
also,
have been alive.
first of
No,
all,
hold on. You have been
no, hold
alive.
on. Magazines in this movie don't make sense.
No,
They
they don't.
hold more bullets than they should.
Also, you've been alive for how many millennia? You have
I
a
don't think she's been alive for a millennia. I think she's been alive for centuries,
okay,
but still, yeah, hundreds of years.
centuries, hundreds of years,
Yeah.
and you have practiced in your castle home where you just
That's the weirdest
first
part is
off,
they show that she practices shooting, so we know she can aim.
no, we know she can aim when she stands still.
Yeah.
And even then, also hold up.
She's still standing still for the majority of her action scenes,
Why
though.
do you use sculpture heads as targets? That's so much harder to tell if you got the right shot. Just get a
Yeah.
regular target. So she, at the beginning of the movie, she decides to shoot 4 magazines, and they do the smart thing when she reloads those guns to cut away from her reloading the magazines to just show her doing this and
Yeah.
clicking because like there's like no way people are gonna watch her do this.
Well, no. Nobody wants to watch
Or
that.
like she dumps the magazines and like there's like remember like in Tomb Raider where Laura
Mhm.
Croft's shooting both her guns and then she dumps the magazines and she like slams the other magazine or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's Tomb Raider. Like
That's like the typical
okay,
action scene.
all
Yeah.
right. Now trust me, when I've done training,
Oh, no, it doesn't work
I've
like
never
that.
done dual shooting reloading before, but I've done one-handed reloading before,
Hmm.
and it's fucking hard. You
Yeah.
have to like strip the magazine at the gun, get on your knee, use your fucking boot, like put the
Hmm.
gun in your fucking leg crevice, grab the magazine, put the magazine, and then slam it. Fucking use the fucking slide on your boot or on your belt, and like fucking lock it back in to get back into the fight. But
Damn.
in this movie, it's like, it's like, dude, that's how guns work. Um,
Ah. Also, going back to her gunplay, they have the scene that, like, on paper, it sounds really cool. And I feel like other movies have done it really, really cool.
yeah,
But it didn't look cool when she decided to shoot the floor into a circle to try
yeah,
to cut, to
yeah,
try to drop down a floor to escape from the werewolves. Because, first of all, she's already dead because
yeah,
it took way too much time.
yes.
Also, I feel like guns don't work like that
I don't know,
without
maybe.
using a lot more bullets than what she used.
But also, they're silver bullets, so they wouldn't have the same effect on the physical world. Like it's a
But they're
silver,
still like hard.
it's a
They're still
silver
like hard
bullet,
metal.
right? So like a regular bullet or a hollow point or whatever FMJ, when
Yeah.
explodes into the fucking thing it hits, it's going to cause a different type of damage.
Right.
But a silver bullet, you would think that it would heat up from the fucking firing pin and then just hit the ground and just go through or stud into the ground. Because the whole
Hmm.
point of having a silver bullet to kill a werewolf is that you don't want it to go through them.
Right.
You want
Yeah.
it to lodge in them and stay there.
Yeah.
So like, and she even makes the point later when she's talking to Michael about
Right. That they take the bullets out. Yeah.
like take them out and put them back in. So like, you're shooting the ground.
Yeah. It
How does
makes
that
no sense.
work?
It makes no sense.
Oh, gosh.
I also don't know why she's like suddenly scared of these werewolves that like she won't just like run through them. Also, there's no hint of like vampire powers in this movie. Like none of them are like super strong except for
Victor.
Victor. He's like the only one that shows like any sort of like super strength or like super speed or anything like that. There's no like vampire powers in this movie.
Yeah.
What's the point of being a vampire and being a vampire hunter if you don't have any dope ass powers?
I think they have super strength. But I think the lichens are just
I
that
mean,
much
kind of, but
stronger.
like they don't use it really.
Maybe they do, and just lichens are that tough. You
Maybe
know?
I don't know. It feels like this movie makes it feels like it's way cooler to be a lichen than to be a
Oh,
vampire.
it's not even a question, dude.
Yeah, it's dope.
I So the plot of the movie is dumb.
Yeah.
But what I love about this movie more than anything, and this is why I love this movie so much,
Okay.
is it's the subtle world building of like the covens and stuff. I
Okay.
remember being like, as a younger person, being like, man, vampire chicks are hot. And if I could be in a fucking vampire coven, yo, all day.
All
All
day.
day. And I think about like me right now, the way that I look in a vampire coven. Celine walks in, kicks in the door to the fucking mansion, all black leather clad fucking outfit. And I'm just sitting in a chair like, what's up, bro?
That.
Look, what's going on, dude? What's up? You death dealing? I'm playing fucking Switch, dude. like what the fuck?
New Pokemon game
What
came
am
out,
I?
man.
What am I gonna do? I'm fucking Switch from the Matrix. Or what's the no? What's his name? The guy
Tank?
not Tank. No, the white guy, the programmer who makes the fucking girl in the dress.
Can't remember.
Is it Switch?
Oh, the architect.
No, from Matrix One. The little young kid.
Oh, Mouse.
Is it Mouse
Yeah, it's Mouse.
or Mauser?
I think it's Mouse.
What's Tank's brother's name? I can't remember.
Can't remember his name.
I thought he was Mauser. I don't know. Either
No,
way,
wait, he's Tank because I thought his brother was Dozer, right?
Dozer and Tank. Yeah,
Yeah,
Dozer's the brother. Tank is the
yeah.
operator.
Dozer's the bigger black guy.
So I would be the fucking nerdy guy who makes the girl in the dress, who's like super in love with the girl in the dress. I'm the fucking vampire who she walks in and she's like, I'm a death dealer or whatever, and Craven's like, you gotta do what I gotta tell you to do, and I'm like, guys, fucking pass the Dr Pepper.
Guys, come on.
Listen,
Where's the
man,
RC Cola?
I got some shit going on. I gotta fucking fight, I gotta fight Bowser, dude.
Yeah.
Whoever the fuck. I would be zero addition to the fucking coven.
Guys, I'm 3 stars away from 100%ing
Yeah.
Super Mario Galaxy. Come
My
on.
speed run. I'm cutting my time on my speed run down. I've been doing the speed run for 20 years. I'm still not getting better. I'm still not getting anything better at it. I think the movie it's so bloated in the middle.
Oh, it's super
All the
bloated.
romance stuff is so
It's so
drawn
all that
out.
is so it's not even that it's drawn out. It feels ham-fisted. Like it feels like it's not. It does. The fact that they fall in love does not make
Does not
sense.
make sense.
None of it makes any sense. Like he just randomly kisses her and she's like, "Oh yeah, I love you now."
Oh, you saved my life.
It makes no
You
sense.
saved my life, so I have to love you and sacrifice everything I've done for.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Also, but I do love when he becomes the hybrid at the end. That shit's pretty dope.
He looks so dumb though.
He looks dumb, but his powers, he's the only one that actually shows vampire powers. He has like super speed and super strength.
Yeah. How do you
And he's got
feel?
the ridiculous claws.
How do you feel
which look
about
dope.
the lichens in the movie though?
The what?
The lichens. How do you feel about them?
Uh, I mean, they're not terrible. I mean, there definitely have been like better werewolf costumes in other movies. I feel like they felt like the aesthetic of this movie, though.
How come they only show the black guy transitioning?
Yeah, I don't know. They show a little bit of like Michael transitioning a little bit when he like first does it when they're like in the cop car.
Yeah, but
He
really,
like half transitions, but
yeah.
like yeah, other than that, they really don't show anybody else. Also, fucking Lucian never transitions. Michael Sheen was like, "No, you ain't putting me no
Yeah,
fucking
they're
work."
not doing it. I think that his story is so cool.
I remember liking the prequel a lot because that's
Yeah,
basically all his story.
yeah.
Yeah, his story is like the coolest part.
And I feel like even with like the action scenes in general, because it's not Blade, but it looks so much
Yeah.
like Blade.
It's definitely trying to like copy the look of Blade.
Yes, even her costume is like, dude, you're
Yeah.
trying so hard.
Yeah.
For her not to have a single ounce of martial art
Yeah.
or hand to hand combat, like even the sword things, like okay, that's an accident.
Yeah.
It just makes sense to me. Like just, I love the movie
Yeah.
so much, but it really is like trying to be Blade in every way,
Hmm.
but fails on every level.
Yeah, I would agree
It
with
doesn't
that.
go techno dance enough. It doesn't
It doesn't go martial arts enough.
martial arts. The action
Well, it doesn't
scenes
go
are
martial arts at
worse.
all. So.
The action scenes are worse.
I do like the the world building with the ammo that they got, where they've got the sun bullets. And I was like,
Yeah.
first of all, I don't know where they're at, but I never seen the sunshine once in this entire
Oh,
fucking
it's always
movie.
nighttime, dude, because they're
It's
awake.
always nighttime. It's perpetually nighttime. It must take place in Seattle like Twilight does, because it's just always nighttime or overcast.
Yeah.
And but I do like that they have the sun bullets. And I was like, okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, I made silver bullets out of the same shit. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, good. You're like actually intelligent. That makes sense.
Well, I really
I don't
like
know why it took you like this long to like
to think
figure
about
out
it.
that like nitrate exists, but
Well, even with the world building again, the world building is the best part of the movie, because like the elder stuff is so cool.
the elder soap's dope,
Again,
yeah. And yeah,
it's the
they like
coven
transition
stuff.
from like one person
Yeah.
being the empire leader at a time, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the coven shit. The coven stuff is really interesting and really well crafted. It's
Yeah.
the fact that like the other internal politics are cool too. Even like the whole Craven story, that to me is really cool. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
It's the action that really suffers from the like the movie suffers from the action sequences, and then the
Hmm.
long drawn out, boring, overdone, ham fisted romance story
Yeah.
that it's supposed to play like on Lucian's. Oh, who fucking cares? Boring.
I mean, I get the point. I mean, the whole point of it is like not even to play on Lucian stuff. It's just so that she'll bite him and transform him into a vampire.
Yeah, but the idea like okay, well, it's the forbidden love between a vampire and a
Yeah.
werewolf. You know, so
Hmm.
he's the future. He can become both, but he's still he's a werewolf at first.
Yeah.
But that future would know that oh, who here's who I am. Here's who she was. Here it
Yeah.
is again repeated in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, kind of boring though.
Yeah.
Again, the world building stuff is really really well done and really cool. They hint at it enough that you're like, okay, next movie we're gonna get some cool shit. We're gonna see some
Takes
cool
like
shit.
3 movies from then to finally get the cool shit, but
Yeah, exactly.
or at least I think it does. I don't remember two that much.
Two has Marcus wakes
Two's the
up.
one where like the helicopter crashes and then they like kill like the bad guy on like a helicopter or something, I think.
The two is I remember the opening scenes where they bring the guy with the wings back.
Yeah.
Why does he have wings? I can't remember why he has wings.
He's like a pureblood vampire, I thought, or
Yeah,
something.
but so is Victor, isn't he?
Yeah, but Victor never transforms. I don't know.
I
Because
think
Victor's also like, yeah, pureblood.
I don't know what the reasoning. I can't remember what the reasoning is,
I
but
don't remember.
um
All I remember is that the third one is they get rid of Michael entirely, and
yeah
it's just Celine. I was like, okay, so
yeah
that relationship doesn't
they
matter.
have the kid and stuff like that.
Is it? Okay.
They have like a little baby, a girl, or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, comparatively to Blade, which is what this is trying to do so much,
Yeah.
it misses on a lot of points, and the middle half could be cut down so much in Underworld to
Hmm.
be. I think if it was cut down by like 40 minutes,
Yeah.
you could really. How many times do we need to see Selena and Craven be like bickering? I don't need to see it 7 times.
Yeah, I get it. I got it after like the first time. I don't know why we keep harping on it. I
Yeah,
also don't understand where he's like I get the whole Victor thing where he's like he wants the thing they can't have, and I was like, I don't get why you want her though.
yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like she's not even like the hottest person out of like all of this group. Like there are plenty of people that are like just as hot as her in like this coven.
Maybe I don't know. I don't agree, but
I feel like there's got to be.
I'm sure there
Maybe
has to
you
be.
don't.
I'm sure there has to be.
I mean, it's clearly not the like Britney Spears wannabe lookalike,
Yeah,
but
right.
who's clearly trying way too
So
hard.
where do you stand on the fact that they're not supernatural?
What do you mean?
The vampires,
What do you mean they're not supernatural?
the werewolves, and the vampires are not supernatural. They're it's a virus.
Oh yeah, that aspect of it. That's eh. I mean, really, like the whole plot of the movie doesn't make sense if it's not a virus because it's all focused around like the bloodlines and all that kind of shit. So if it wasn't like a pathological virus, it wouldn't really play
Yeah.
off as well. I don't really like it a whole lot. I also don't really like. I was trying to think. Oh, I was just thinking of something else. What was it? Can't remember now.
To me, it's definitely one of my least favorite takes on the vampire lore.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, I was thinking about it, and it's like, this doesn't really fit into like our vampire hunter aesthetic now that I really think about it, because it's like they're not hunting vampires. They are vampires and they are hunters, but they're
yeah,
like, I guess so. If you like want to like fucking do some 3D Hungry Hippos 180 twist arounds, it is a vampire hunter movie.
But technically, also Celine ends up hunting vampires,
That's true. In the second movie, she ends up like, yeah,
and she kills a vampire in this movie.
yeah. She kills a
Uh
couple of vampires in this
And
movie.
also, we're not saying maybe she's not the vampire hunter we're talking about. Maybe it's
The werewolf.
Lucian. Uh
Yeah,
oh, we figured out semantics. We got it.
we got it.
Um, it's a boring movie.
Yeah.
It's boring, but I fucking love it.
I liked. I mean, I think of the stuff that we touched on. I really, really like. Like, I do really like the world building in it. I think some of the technology in it's really, really cool.
Yeah,
I just the action scenes are so boring,
yeah. It
and
took
that's the part where it's like this is supposed to be like getting me fucking jazzed, and I'm like
yeah.
wanting to fall asleep.
It's bad because the best parts of the movie are the parts where it's not action in the fucking mansion.
Yeah.
Like that to me should have been a show. Like just
Yeah.
the politics of that mansion.
Hmm.
Like the different other families who are from the other descendants and all that kind of stuff. That stuff
Yeah.
is really really cool and interesting. And the internal struggles could have been like with the West Wing, but with vampire covenants. That's really
Yeah.
cool. And then the movie really sacrifices its like rating by having really really poor choreographed, non choreographed kung fu, gun fu
Yeah.
sequences that are just so poor,
Yeah.
so poor.
It's not even gun fu. They don't even fight with the guns, really. They just shoot them.
They just put their hands out and they just like
I think gun fu and I think equilibrium. Now that's gun fu.
that's gun that yeah. But my point being like the whole movie's
Yeah.
guns and
No.
like they can't even do that right.
Yeah. No,
So
I get you.
Zach, any final thoughts for our final Vampire Hunter movie of the month before we end off Vampire Hunter month and then we move into another month, which next month is
Next month is our. I guess it's not technically. I guess it's just our Godzilla vs King Kong month.
Godzilla Kong month, baby.
It's leading up to Godzilla King Kong, so I think we'll do Legendary's 2014 Godzilla first. I would imagine.
Oh God, yeah.
We
Ugh.
got to do the whole lead up of Legendaries. We got to do Godzilla, then we got to do Kong, Skull Island, and then King of the Monsters,
Yeah.
and then we could probably stink in the original Godzilla vs King Kong in there somehow.
We'll figure it out. We'll have to figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it
But
out.
I don't know. This movie is like 5 out of 10. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the
I
world building
agree.
really elevates it to like a 5. I think if it didn't have that going for it, it'd be like a 2.
Yeah, I do think that Kate Beckinsale's very charming in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, she's not bad as like a leading actress in it. I just don't think there's like a lot of her character for like me to really latch onto.
Yeah, there
Like she's
isn't.
good, but she isn't really given a lot to work with.
Yeah,
So,
and there's like really no in this movie at least. There's like really no character development for her. Like
yeah.
she doesn't learn that like she never really learns that the Lycans were like enslaved for no reason.
Yeah, she doesn't. I mean, I guess the only really development was like she's not like gung ho about Victor. That's like the
Yeah.
only really development is like she learns that like he killed her
But
family.
also like
And also like he does nothing to hide it.
Yeah.
He's like says it and he's like, yeah, I did it.
but also like what we enslaved Lucian and killed his wife. Yeah, whatever. Don't
I
care.
don't think she really learns that. I mean, he
No.
like Michael mentions it, but he doesn't explain
But
what actually.
also I would assume it's just common lore.
Yeah.
But they say like
She says that she has the whole thing in there where she's like, it's forbidden to
look
learn
at
about the past.
Yeah. So
So-
maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. So I assume that it's like, I don't know, because they don't even. There's not even an acknowledgement that like that werewolves like used to work for them.
Yeah.
So I feel like that like whole part is like.
Or they all
But
come from
also,
the same thing.
I don't know. It comes to that whole thing that I always have with like world building like this, where they're like, this certain knowledge is forbidden. I was like, how did you like have an entire generation where like, okay, we're not going to talk.
Yeah.
Like, I guess everybody just sat down like, okay, we're not going to talk about this thing that happened.
Yeah.
Or did you just like did Victor just kill every vampire that was there except for himself? And he's like, okay. Well, no, he doesn't because Craven's there because Craven was
Craven's there.
around
Yeah.
during that time. I don't know. It makes no sense.
Doesn't make sense, man. Doesn't make any sense. Well, I agree with your rating. I would give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I enjoy the movie a lot. I like it a lot for what it is, but I understand that it's a rough movie, but it's exactly what you expect from 2003 about a vampire hunter starring Kate Beckinsale. So, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys back next week with more License to View, and we'll see you back next week with King Kong or Godzilla.
Godzilla. 2014.
2014. Yay.
Yay.
All right, guys.
Look, I just can't wait to get to King of the Monsters, all right?
I
Because
know. I'm looking forward to Skull Island.
Skull Island's fun too. I remember
Yeah.
liking Skull Island a
I'm
lot.
excited for that.
Yeah, it's just, 2014 is a little bit of a slog.
A little bit.
Well,
Shit.
they decided to make a kaiju movie without actually
Having a
making
kaiju.
a kaiju movie.
I know, dude. But we'll get to that next week, man. We'll rant on that
Yeah,
for an hour.
we'll get through all that next week.
Yeah, man.